Yo, 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 yo. It is another episode of the weekend's number one hip hop podcast in the game, The Weekend Rhyme. I'm your boy Ron, aka RKY. That's Leroy Green. That's Super Duper. We got a jam-packed show today. We're going to talk about the J.Cole again, the debate about the trunk tour in the Honda Civic. We're going to talk about that. The King of the South versus G Unit's own 50 Cent. The back and forth between two hip-hop legends, T.I. and 50. We're going to get into that. Cyhi the Pyrnce has a record out, taking a couple shots, some lyrical hip-hop shots at J. Cole. We got Boldy James. I think Boldy James is like every week he got a collaboration coming out. We got him and Rome Streets got Manhunt. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about a continuation of our conversation. Shout out to everybody that liked and subscribed last week. More politics in hip-hop. Shia LaBeouf has entered the conversation with Kendrick Lamar. We're going to talk about that a little bit. But yeah, anyway, before we get started with the proceedings this evening, make sure you do the needful, hit like and subscribe. Make sure you tell a friend and tell a friend. We do what we do because of you. You know what I'm saying? You could be anywhere in the world today or tomorrow, whenever you're watching this broadcast, but you chose to rock with us. Give us your time. We're going to have some deep, grown man hip-hop conversations. The other pods ain't giving you that. We're going to unpack different layers. We may even talk about the war in Iran a little bit. We don't know. But anyway, let's start with this T.I. and 50 Cent. So anyway, what's been going on in the last few weeks is that, what it started with this, right? Let's unpack it. Let's go back to the beginning. I had heard a few years ago that there was talks about a 50 Cent and T.I. versus. I had heard that. I don't know who I heard it from. I think it was common knowledge they were trying to make it happen. T.I. has been talking about this every time they've been asking him about the verses. So I think at first they asked him, so T.I., what about you and Busta Rhymes? And T.I.'s like, nah, I don't know if that was going to work. And I think it was T.I. and maybe before the Gucci Man and Jeezy happened, he said, well, maybe Jeezy, that might be a good one. And then maybe the Gucci one would be, but he said, nah, I want that man from New York. I want the bully. And I think he was saying it in jest. He was trying to do a WWE type situation, hype up the hypothetical versus match. And I thought, in my mind, you got the King of the South, T.I., T.I.P., you got 50 Cent. Both artists were heavy in the mixtape game. Both artists got crossover hits. Both artists kind of started at the same time. Both sold a lot of records. I thought that it made sense. North versus South, you know what I'm saying? New York versus Atlanta. I thought the versus matchup would be a dope one. So fast forward to now, 2026. We got the No Limit Cash Money versus. Versus is bubbling again. We got versus it's popping in the streets. So now naturally, the fans want another versus. People are saying, hey, 50 Cent versus T.I. And T.I.'s been mentioning in podcasts and interviews. I think he was on Nightcap with Shay Shay out during the Super Bowl. He was talking about it with $1 million worth of game. And I thought that maybe it was a good idea. So apparently, Fifth took offense to it and started doing what Fifth does and got on IG and started sharing, old, old clips of T.I. In a precarious situations regarding law enforcement. And then I think he kind of crossed the line, and I'm going to get into that. So it's what started off with music kind of crossed some barriers. And I think there's one or two things, right? So let's say this. 50's been the same 50 for the last 20 years. Even like 99, 2000, How to Rob. 50's was the Ghetto Quran. His whole rollout's been he's been an agitator. He's been a person that's been a provocateur. He says shit that's provocative. He says shit that's antagonizing. His beef with G Unit, his beef with Jada, his beef with Cam, his beef with Jim Jones more recently, with Fab, Mano, and those guys. He's always been a provocateur. So this has not been something out of 50 Cent's character, right? Even if you look at his books, the 50th Law of Power, he talks his beef with Rick Ross, his beef with Floyd Mayweather. He's always his antagonizing Jay game. The list goes on and on and on. So it's not been something that you can say, being a student of hip hop, being a fan of hip hop, that this is new of 50 Cent. This is 50.com was trolling. You know what I'm saying? His beef with Khaled.
He was making songs.
He was making songs. So now that he's transitioning to a mogul.
Where's the song?
Hold on, let me finish. Now the songs are not coming as they once did back in the day when he was active in rap. But I think 50 made a fatal mistake. Because again, I've always said this on this pod. I don't think y'all might have not agree with me. Maybe y'all do agree with me. I think Leroy and I have had private conversations and offline about the rules of war. I think women and children should be left out of it. Now, if he would have stuck to T.I., then I thought maybe that's all fair game. But when you introduce my man's wife into the situation and share a meme about her, that's when the violation occurs. I think women and children should be off limits. And then you got Tip's sons, defending their mother, stepping into the situation. Now, I'm not going to tell a young man, I got 2 sons of my own, so I can only tell my sons how to operate, and I can't give anybody else how they want to protect their mother. That's on them. But I don't think that children should disparage mothers. You know what I'm saying? If there's a problem, I think T.I. was more than capable, as you can see, with War, with What Bully, with The Right One, with Lessons. I think he's more than capable of holding his family down. But I do think 50 stepped out of line with the disrespect to his wife. And I think it's out of bounds to talk about, even though no matter what the situation is, 50 Cent's mother is deceased. I think that's a little bit out of bounds, you know what I'm saying, for the youngsters to talk disparagingly about, someone's deceased mother. So I think that's kind of out of pocket.
I don't.
I think I think Tip is more than capable of handling that.
We told her be real niggas. That's how we raised them. Hey, be a real nigga.
But no, I think there should be.
We raised them that way.
I think there still should be some decorum. I think you should just go after.
Decorum with real niggas.
So let me finish. I'm gonna pass the mic. That's my only position. I think T.I. is kind of bodying 50 right now. He's kind of exposing 50 for violating certain codes. I think the code is you don't talk about women and children should be off limits. I think 50 violated that when he shared the meme of Tiny. I think that was out of pocket. And I think Tip is handling Tip is doing this thing. But I do say 2 things could be true. I do think somebody's dead mother. I think there's some things you just don't. I wouldn't rock like that personally. You know what I'm saying? If I got a problem with a man, I address that man. I address that situation. I'm gonna let the elders and the deceased be. You know what I'm saying? That's the code I live by. No women, no children. So I turn it over to Super.
You attack my mom.
I'll turn over to Super and then Leroy. That's my thoughts on the situation. But shout out to the King of the South. Shout out to T.I. I'm conflicted with this. I like both dudes, but I'm rolling with the home team. Shout out to T.I. He's holding it down with the records. He's still doing music, and I appreciate that. Super, what you say about the situation?
I think the situation is kind of out of pocket and lame, and just from the beginning. I don't think that's it's corny. You know what I mean? It's like it's not a good reason to be getting into a beef because you want to challenge a guy to a versus. This reminds me of the other issue with the podcast when the versus challenges was out there and all the disrespect coming from another camp just over playing some songs. I mean, it's just music for one. So if 50 didn't want to do the battle or didn't want to do the verses, I think a simple "nah, nigga, you a snitch" would have been good enough. You know what I mean? If that's how you feel, or that's what he insinuated. With that was his answer. His answer was posting.
Who did he snitch on?
That's what I'm still wondering. I mean, like, it still ain't even been no proof that 50 really snitched on nobody. I mean, the people that they saying, like, I haven't heard Jimmy Henchman or Supreme say that he snitched on him, so I don't know who he's supposed to have snitched on or what.
Who did T.I. snitch? 50 did get an order of protection against Ja Rule.
I mean, like I said,
that's not snitching.
And people want to troll.
I mean,
people want to troll T.I. because he testified in the murder of his best friend. I mean, I don't know.
That's not snitching.
Yeah, I don't know. And like I said,
when you alert the police that you're under threat of violence, that's not snitching.
That's not.
You did invite the 50 invited the police into hip hop.
If somebody breaking your home and the police come in and get a report, I'm gonna say I saw a nigga breaking my house and I could get my gun off.
If I'm gangster, I'm gangster all the way. I'm not gangster halfway.
No,
I'm gangster all the way.
Like I was saying, man, I think that just the whole way that 50 handled this is just kind of corny. And so, when he posted the picture of Tiny and I don't think that T.I. 50 was even thinking about that they got kids and shit. You know what I mean? They got kids that's adults. And they got the right to feel and defend and feel how they want to feel about their mama. So I mean, when 50 went at their mom and tried to make her look bad, they went at 50 mom.
But
And tried to do
that's out of pocket.
ain't no out of bounds when
That's out of bounds, man.
Your mother is your mother. Who was they supposed to talk about? If he talk about their mother,
she gone though, man.
But who was they supposed to talk about then?
Talk about that nigga.
But I mean,
they could have did that, but they could do that. But shit, he talking about their mama. I mean, he talking about their mama. You know what I'm saying?
She an elder. I mean, we losing.
Man,
I she an old lady, man. I mean,
she dead, man. She gone. So it is what it is.
Man,
that's why you gotta respect, man. You gotta respect what you say to other people. You can't.
But it was rules to this game. I ain't no gangster, man. I'm from the suburb. It was
rules
to this game.
like,
it was
where
rules
are the
to this
rules?
gangster shit back in the day,
What
man.
rules?
Well, 50
women and children was off limits.
Hey, 50 got a book so-called about gangster shit,
out your wife
and women and children is supposed to be in this book, like you said. He got to live by his own book and the code of his own book. So he shouldn't have went at them young bulls. He shouldn't have went at their mama. But I'm glad that he did now because it's showing that T.I. family got some talent. I like everything. I like everything that they done. I have no problem with none of the songs. I think every song was dope in his own way. I don't expect 50 Cent to rap at all. I mean, he gonna troll. He gonna make his money.
No.
He gonna do his show money. He not gonna rap though. I mean,
you got to keep that same energy for J.Cole. It has to be double the energy for 50.
Yeah, but we know 50 ain't rappers. I mean, we know
it don't have no energy for battle no more.
It was the same energy that I was missing.
50 has to be the number one lane because Cole was the lane for not battling.
Leroy, before you go, Leroy, I'm gonna ask you this question. I gotta run the tape back. Maybe I'm wrong, but I remember when Joey was outside talking his talk, and there was other folks talking, and y'all. I think maybe it was me, maybe it was you. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong. I was told that Kendrick didn't have to respond. That's what I was
not talking about Kendrick.
That he was on tour. And he didn't have to respond.
We're not talking about it. Y'all told me that Cole has to respond.
Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I heard from somebody on this podcast that said that Kendrick.
Y'all told me for weeks that Cole is a lame. That's what y'all told me for weeks.
What are you talking about Cole for? Cole raps.
No, y'all said he didn't rap. I was the one saying
nobody said that.
I'm giving you an example of you saying that 50 has to respond.
So we're picking and choosing.
We are picking and choosing because you said Kendrick didn't have to respond when Joey was going in on him. You said he didn't have to respond.
I said Cole didn't have to respond. So what
do Cole have to respond to? Nobody dissed Cole. Why you saying that?
I'm hearing that Cole should.
You saying that Cole had to respond? Cole dropped the diss song. Cole dropped the diss song and apologized. What are you saying he needs to respond to?
Okay. So nobody has to rap no more. So we'll just leave it at that. Nobody has to rap. We'll just all be quiet, and that'll be better.
I'm confused on what you're talking about.
For weeks, Cole was a lame for not rapping. Am I right?
Nobody for not rapping about what?
Nobody was saying Cole should battle Kendrick.
Cole was a lame for dropping a diss song and then apologizing. That's what he was a lame for. He was a lame for dropping the diss song and then backing out of the battle, apologizing.
But he did drop the diss. Because this is the first time on record that we're acknowledging there was a diss. Because for weeks,
I don't know what you're talking about, man. Leroy, I don't know.
I know what he's talking about, and Leroy, I'm gonna let you cook. What you're talking about is the same thing that Jay-Z did for Game.
We're not talking about Jay-Z.
No, I'm giving you an example.
Who are we talking about? Just so we're clear.
I'm giving you an example. You saying we're playing favorites and we're picking and choosing. Then everybody's picking and choosing because when Jay was
okay, so don't talk to me about battling no more.
Okay, when Game was dissing Jay repeatedly, talking about his wife, talking about all this other stuff, he did not respond. Okay, Jay-Z.
What does Jay have to do with 50
Cent? So now you're saying that 50 is obligated to do something that Jay didn't do. That's what I'm saying.
What does Jay have to do with 50 Cent?
I just told you why. I just told you Jay.
But Jay is not 50 Cent.
So why are you expecting Jay to 50 responding when Jay didn't have to?
Because you're asking me about Jay-Z when I'm asking you about 50 Cent. They're two different people.
I'm saying he don't have to respond for the same reason that Jay don't have to respond.
Okay, so let's just dead battling, period.
Well, now
since
you didn't
people
say that
don't have to respond, let's just dead the whole culture.
So did Jay have to respond?
Jay probably did respond. Like,
Hey,
I mean,
like I said,
I know Jay. He
look, man,
probably
we
responded,
can't pick
bro.
and choose, and this ain't even the point. I don't. I
He
mean, because
probably Jay Z. He
it don't
probably
even it
responded.
don't matter. It don't matter at this point. Right now, like I said, 50. We know 50's not responding with a rap song.
Actually,
We
Jay
know
did
that already.
respond. Actually,
So
Jay did respond to game.
so
So that
that was basically my point. My point is we all know 50's not going to respond with a rap song.
okay,
You know what I
but
mean?
so we're
So
not gonna keep the same energy with 50 Cent that we
Yeah,
kept with
we
Jay.
are keeping the same energy. And Leroy, I'm gonna let you go because he's been the same 50 since How to Rob back in '99. He's
When
been
he
the
was
same.
rapping,
No, this is 50.com.
he was rapping. I mean, I don't know about 50cent.com, but my whole thing is let's be real. We are afraid of battles. So just say that. I know that everybody's afraid of a battle. So just say that.
I
Like,
ain't even
don't
I
be
didn't even
out here
finish
and
what I was
don't
saying
be
because we talked about 50
everybody.
Cent. I didn't even
Yo,
finish what
I
I was
know
really saying
people are
about.
afraid of war. So we gotta be real. We gotta be real. You're afraid. Fans are afraid that their favorite artist is gonna get their head knocked off. Artists are afraid that they're gonna get their head knocked off. I know you're afraid because I'm an artist. I talk to other artists, so I know you're afraid. So we gotta stop playing tough guy. I know for a fact artists are afraid. I know fan bases are afraid. I know everybody's afraid because you don't want no problems. So, but Ti is a different specimen of human being.
Hey,
Ti is
Leroy, before you cook up, I think we interrupted with Super. Before you cook up, Leroy, Super, finish your point. Man. Finish your point, bro.
okay.
I mean, basically, like I said, I like the songs. I like what they're doing. I like that they are taking it to the booth, and right now they're using it as a moment to showcase family talent. Um, well, my bad.
Damn, you got some of
Yeah,
that you got
yeah,
some of that you got
pass
that
that.
you got that Milwaukee Kush. Damn.
Dang it.
Hey,
So you ain't gonna pass it though?
hey, you need some of that Cali. Bitch. You that Milwaukee got that's that.
Hey, that's the one.
You got that Waka
No,
Flocka. You got that Waka Flocka shit.
My guy's smoking and won't pass it.
Oh man.
no, but they got to show off some talent, and I think it's dope. I think that if anything, they got a group. They got a group right there.
You gotta call the paramedics.
They got a group right there, man.
Leroy, cook up, man. For this, you gotta call the
I mean,
paramedics, man.
all I would say is if you're gonna troll, right? If your whole MO is I'm a bully, right? We remember the school bully, right? So the bully is bullying everybody. Then when the bully gets to you and you like, yeah, I'm with the smoke, then everybody's like, whoa, hold on. Like, you can't do that. It's like, bro, like he bullied everybody in the classroom. Then he gets to me and finds out I'm with everything he's with. And now y'all mad at me? Like, it's crazy, but you know you can't speak on somebody's mom because once you speak on their mom, obviously it's out of control. So I always was the one that like people should keep it clean. I'm with clean battles. I'm not gonna talk about your mama, your wife, your kids. I'm with clean battles. But hip hop told me that was corny to be clean. They were like, nah, your mom is on
Hey,
the put your children on the dinner plate. So I said, okay, cool. Like put the kids
I'm
on.
down with giving the same energy you giving me. If you gonna talk about my mama, I'm talking about your mama. And if she happened to be dead, so fucking be it. It is what it is.
I
I
was
mean,
with no women,
I
no
agree.
kids. They told me that was corny. Like,
Hey, you're right, but
yeah. So,
if you bring it in the women and kids, then it is what it is.
okay, it is what it is. But
Right, it is what it is.
if the bully is getting bullied now, I don't want to hear nothing, man. And second, 50 was born in 1975. So this guy is from the original essence of hip hop. So you're telling me the golden era rapper is not battling? All right, man. Then
You
if
know
that's
what though?
if,
I do think that
if
I
yeah,
think that it's a deeper something on the surface here that's really getting exposed
okay.
that we really need to talk about for real too. And you know, like I said, I think the 50 shit is bogus and all that. We can go down that line. But if you really think about this, Ti not only called out 50 Cent, he called out pretty much the East Coast, New York, East Coast, or whoever, and he pretty much called out somebody from his generation. If you
Okay.
really truly think about it, man, the East Coast don't really got nobody from the 2000s that could even really match up other than the 50 Cent, a job. If you think about it, that was about the time the East was about done. I mean, they don't have
Okay.
nobody other than a 50 Cent that
Man,
could even.
Fab had some hits.
But Fab can't go up against a Ti though. Really,
Yeah,
I
but
don't think that he can.
specifically, he called out 50 specifically, though. I mean, he did call out
Right.
everybody, but he did kind of focus on 50 Cent.
I mean, but and according to him, they had to talk about it. They was going WWE this shit, and 50 just he played him. I guess according to Ti, he jumped out there. He threw the
Yeah.
little first WWE promo, and then 50 didn't do his WWE promo, and so that's pretty much where this shit seemed like it's coming from. It's coming from they didn't come together with the full plan on how to execute it, or they didn't 50 didn't really want to do it or whatever. The whole shit is just corny, man. It's corny,
But
but
people are calling Ti corny. I just want to point out that when Ti was going at 50, Ti made it clear that this is not personal. Ti said,
right.
"I'm a fan of 50
Yeah,
Cent."
nobody could call
He
Ti
said
corny.
that. He
Nobody could.
said, "I'm a
And
fan of
Nobody could
50
call
Cent."
Ti standing on business. Ti's defending
So it's
his wife. Ti's talking about music. Ti's cementing himself on some king shit. So nobody
he
could
said, "I'm a
call.
fan."
Yeah, he did. It was all respect. You know what I'm saying?
So
yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, what was so wrong about defending your legacy that you had to start talking about my wife and shit and calling me a snitch because I want to challenge you
yeah, and you
to a
know,
song battle? I just think like the whole thing is corny. Like
with
it's
with
corny.
the with the
Go
whole
ahead.
snitch thing, even if someone did snitch, so what? What you gonna do about it? Hip hop? Nothing, right? So who cares? And then second, snitching comes with paperwork. Where's the paperwork? But then third, they're pulling out Crime Stoppers, bro. I'm telling you straight up. If I'm facing a decade plus in prison and they tell me, "Hey, you could do this Crime Stoppers commercial and walk out today," what you think I'm doing? Hello,
Right.
hello.
I
So
mean, it wasn't. It's even as a celebrity, right? I don't see nothing wrong with somebody like being. There's nothing wrong with celebrities encouraging children to
I'm
not do
walking out of jail.
drugs or
I'm
Crime
walking out of jail.
Stoppers or whatever. I don't think there's nothing wrong with celebrities doing that. We just had Juvenile dancing, talking about get the goddamn vaccine. No, like you know what I mean? And like,
I'm walking out of
so
jail.
I don't see nothing wrong with
As
with
long as my name,
with that.
as long as my name didn't send nobody to jail, then I don't want to hear nothing. If I didn't send nobody to jail, then don't put that jacket on me.
Man,
I didn't.
It's like being
again,
mad.
we gotta stop this shit, man. Somebody break in my
Right.
house and I catch the person
I'm
that
just
broke in my
saying.
house.
I didn't send nobody to jail,
I'm gonna
bro.
tell law enforcement this person broke in my house and I'm gonna send him to jail, man. That's not. I'm not no
Yeah,
less.
but that's a civilian
I'm no
crime.
less gangster. I'm no less gangster than nobody. We gotta
That's a
stop all this
civilian
shit.
crime.
If somebody
If
do
I
some
do
shit,
a crime, if I do a crime with another individual,
that's
and,
snitching.
and we get caught, and I tell on that person,
Yeah.
that is no. That is a no. That is not.
Right.
That's what
Again, yeah, agree,
we're
Right.
talking
100%.
about fellow criminals. We're not talking about civilians. Civilians, yes. Go tell the police. We're not talking about civilians. We're talking
Right.
about people that have claimed gangster for 20 years. 50 and Ti have claimed gangster for 20 years. But in Ti's offense, you have to tell me who Ti sent to jail. If he didn't send anybody to jail, then I don't know. And if the guy who shot his best friend was already in jail, then you can't blame T. The guy was already in jail, and even if you try to pull that card, all he did was identify his friend's body. Like, yeah, that's my man's body. Like, what you want me to do? Like, but that's getting into the weeds of the situation. But I'm only here for just raps, man. I just want to rap. I'm not asking you to shoot nobody. I'm not asking you to kill nobody, fight nobody. I'm asking you to rap. And if you don't want to rap, then you don't want to rap. But we got to get rid of this battle energy then, because battle energy is about, I know people that will battle anybody up on the today. Like, they'll stop what they're doing today and battle someone in the next 30 minutes. So it's like, if you're not really about that, just say you're not about that and we'll just move on, man. But I'm just here for the raps. You don't want to rap, bro. So if you don't want to rap, go make a meme or something. Go on Twitter and do some trolling, bro, because you don't want to rap, and that's it. That's it, man.
Yeah.
You know,
But yeah,
you
like I
know.
said, at the end of the day, man, it's a couple good things that can come out of this. Like I said, they got a whole group right there in the house, the Tip Boys or the Harris Boys or whatever they want to be called. They got a whole group um, right there in the
King out here going, King going
right.
crazy. Hey, but you talked about
What's the other one's name? Dayami or
Damani.
Damani? Right.
Damani.
He showcases some skill. I heard another song that he did with King. I don't know if it's new or not, but another song where they like at a wrestling event or something like that, and he's snapping on there too. So he
Yeah, they got
really
a lot of talent. They got a lot of
right.
so it's a couple things that this battle has shown, right? These are my points, my key takeaways as we move to the next topic. Number one, I believe that hip hop, the whole hip hop community, it seems, have shifted into T.I.'s corner, rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? This is really showing the records that he did, Lessons, The Right One, What Bully, War, even Let Him Know. I mean, T.I. is reminding people how dope he is and how influential he was in hip hop, and not only hip hop, but Southern hip hop, and putting Atlanta in the South on the map and keeping them prevalent for the last 20 some years. Really proud moment to see Tip stand on business. You know what I'm saying? Stand 10 toes down, defending his wife, his family. I appreciate that. So the record speak for itself. Number two, for people that are surprised that 50 Cent has taken his tact, he's always been this way. So his moves haven't been,
No,
haven't been
he used to
surprising to
drop
me.
diss songs back to back.
Yeah, he did. So
Let's
it's a little
not do
bit.
that.
It's
Let's
a
not do
little
that.
different. It's a little different now in 2026. He's not dropping records anymore. I'm not surprised at 50's moves. Little is against the code in my mind. I still think he should have left Tiny out of it. That's disrespectful. And that's a line we shouldn't cross. Third, I respect these young G's for standing 10 toes and defending the honor of their family. You know what I'm saying? That's commendable. Defending their mother. But I would say, out of caution, you know what I'm saying, putting a dead woman on a t-shirt, you know what I'm saying? That's out of bounds, man. That's kind of
We
Man,
all got boys.
listen, man. Don't scold them little boys.
I ain't
This is
scolding them.
this
I
is
ain't scolding them.
don't say nothing bad about them. This is the same man that did a documentary on Diddy. This is
I
the
ain't
same
scold. I
dude
ain't,
that
I ain't scolding them, boy.
allegedly tried to burn down a house with his baby mama and
I ain't
kids in it.
scolding them boys. I'm saying,
Don't shoot him no bells. Don't give him no sympathy. Let this nigga. He don't give nobody no sympathy.
shout out to them boys for standing on business and defending their family's honor and defending their mother. I ain't scolding them boys. What I'm saying is, I think it's a bridge too far putting a dead lady on the t-shirt. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but we all got boys.
That's my
We all,
bridge too
if
far.
you disrespect their mama, what's gonna happen?
I'm
I
They're
think
saying
they
gonna go.
just understand the
They're gonna
nature of the
go. Like,
beast. I think they understand that this is 50 Cent. This nigga, we gotta go hard. This nigga coming at our mama, he gonna be trying to troll us forever. He gonna be
yeah,
trying to
50.
embarrass her. He finna
Come
try
on,
the
to
bro.
magic stick showing 50 with them things, some straps. That's in bounds. All that's in bounds. Talking about how Puff was with his woman.
them
That's in
He
bounds. His
only
hey
got
relationship.
smoke for black
them
people.
but you gotta look at what they did. They got the smoke off their mama back quick. You know what I mean? Like I didn't even really see the shit that 50 Cent posted on it
And I respect that.
because they came and they smashed that shit right down by going at it how they went about it, and they got the attention off their mama real quick.
And
You know what I mean?
I ain't knocking that. I want to clear. I'm home team. I'm with. Shout out to
You
the shout out.
sound like you giving you sound like you giving them a way out.
I'm saying I'm with everything that was done to defend the honor of the family and defend the honor of their mother. But the bridge too far for me is putting an old lady that could be damn near 80, 90 years old on a t-shirt.
Yeah,
I think
I understand.
that's just too far for me. You know what
I
I'm saying?
understand.
That's
Hey,
just
but
too
you
far
got
for
man,
me.
look, man,
You know what I'm
listen.
saying?
When I listen to King rant and I hear him being pissed off, and he like, nigga, your mama's dead, nigga, she gone, nigga, go dig her up. You go take a picture of your mama and post it. I feel him on that. I mean, you gonna take one of the worst pictures out there of my mama? This is his mama, fam.
What 50
Bro,
did? What 50 did was whack.
it was super whack.
I'm
So
not.
how you gonna expect some YNs, man? These is the same YNs that's walking in the gas station to get gas with a shiesty mask on.
I ain't excusing.
We raised them.
And a Draco in their pants.
What 50 did was lame. What 50 did was whack. What 50 did was out of bounds, disrespectful. And I'm not knocking anybody for standing on business and defending the honor of their wife and their mother. I'm saying that is a way you can handle that. You can slap that shit down without resorting to put an 80-year-old.
But you want these dudes to be growner than a 50-year-old ass grown man.
I'm not saying that.
You want them to have more responsibility and more integrity than 50 Cent? And 50 is like triple their age?
I didn't say that. You put words on my mouth. I didn't
That's
say
how
that.
you kind of sounded like they should be thinking about mothers when they like.
I'm saying, okay, let's take Rick Ross. I'm gonna talk to a grown man. Rick Ross responded to my man, the youngster, saying he need a copy of that T-shirt. Now that's out of bounds, man. Rick Rose about 50 years old.
I mean,
come on,
well,
man.
you know they hate each other though. That's different.
But 50 is claiming gangster. 50 is claiming gangster, right? So for all the gangsters mean there is no rules. Once you claim gangster mean there is no rules.
There was rules to this shit.
There's no rules.
I'm saying, but 50 crossed the line of the rules first. He the OG and he the one that should know better if we gonna be talking about it.
Here's a bigger lesson.
So that the way that the young guns is gonna react to something that an OG who should know better than to be bringing women and children into a beef. If 50 gonna bring it, then let them. If he gonna go low, they got the right to go to hell.
But you can still go low without doing that, though.
They had the right to go to hell. They had the right to go to hell with it.
Once my mama is brought into it, oh yeah, we about to turn shit. We about to go to hell.
Right, like people that lost their lives over that type of shit.
I'm killing over mama. I don't care who it is.
But 50 should have known better, if anything. And like I said, I don't think 50 was thinking about their kids or whatever. And he probably didn't care anyway, because I don't think
50 shouldn't have done what he did. I'm not shooting 50 no
so that's it.
What 50 did was whack. Well, I'm saying you don't have to respond to something whack in a way that is not becoming of the situation. You know what I'm saying?
You go talk about some kids though. What is Della do? Like 18, 17 years old?
Right. Yeah, they babies still.
They kid. I mean, they got off when they had to get off. I'm not knocking the
bigger lesson is this. If you woke up this morning with your lady and your kids in the bed with you and y'all was able to sit up, eat breakfast, watch a movie and all that shit, you're more successful than 50 Cent. And that's the biggest lesson to me. Now, other people would be like, nah, that's crazy, bro. 50 Cent has hundreds of $1 million. If I had to pick between hundreds of $1 million and my family, nigga, it's like, and that's the choice that we have to confront. What is better? Like, again, if you woke up this morning with your lady and your kid in the bed with you and y'all was able to just, have a good Sunday morning, you're more successful than 50 Cent.
And just the whole shit, it's just like, grow the fuck up, for real. Like, it's immature. Everything is immature, man. This 50 is, you out here trolling on the internet while this man is defending his family and his kids.
I got to clear.
You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of, it's corny.
I got to clear this shit up real quick because I'm in Atlanta. I want to make this shit real clear. Hear me out. I ain't shooting 50 no bail. You know what I'm saying? This is home team, king of the South shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't admonishing my man's kids. All I'm saying is they had a right to defend their family. They had a right to defend their father, their mother, and stand on business. I'm just saying for Rick Ross or anybody out there that's grown, we shouldn't be rocking no deceased elder on a T-shirt. That's all I'm saying. Kick his back in. Go to war, go to the end of the earth, go to hell and back. Yeah. I don't care how you rock it.
Yes.
But leave a dead black lady out of this shit, man. That's all I'm saying.
Nope.
It's got to be some boundaries to some shit.
Once you bring my family into it,
we're not savages in this shit, man.
I'm smacking you. I'm smacking your wife. I'm smacking your children.
There's gotta be some order to this gangster shit. That's all. It's gotta be some order to this.
We going to hell.
Damn animals. There's gotta be some order to this.
We going animals.
Man, them kids ain't no gangsters, man. Them kids is brats. Them kids is suburban kids. Them kids is rich
Hey,
kids. Them
suburbs
ain't
will
no
get off
gangsters,
on you
man.
too. The suburbs
Them
will get
kids
off
is
on
internet. Them kids is internet kids. King did what he was supposed to be. He an internet troll himself. You know what I mean? He do crazy shit on the internet. He talk a little crazy. He do crazy shit on the internet too. He got the right one this time. That just went along with it.
you.
You know what
Talk
I mean?
about
But
a suburban kid's mama. That kid from the suburbs might get off on you. I'm just he might
Any,
he might get
he
off.
might get
on
off. Anyway, let's
you.
segue
Yeah,
to the
man.
next topic. Shout out to Ti. Ti is rapping. I like the pocket he's in. Looking forward to the new album. Don't think we'll be hearing anything from 50 Cent, but he did announce that there's a new Power series called Legacy coming out. We're gonna check that out.
I'm done with 50 is like Drake to me. I'm done.
He got
He did
50 got a
corny.
movie. 50 got a movie with Kim Kardashian and Eva Longoria coming out on Netflix. So 50 doing his thing on
50 is
that.
a cornball.
You know, again,
hey, I love Power, so I'm gonna be
so
definitely watching that. Raising
You know,
Canaan, I'm gonna be watching that
that's a
shit.
TV.
So
Go make
so
your
I ain't
TV
mad
show,
at it.
bro. Leave Ti alone, because Ti is a different animal than you. You
and
thought you was
he's
an
showing
animal.
that. He's showing
You
that. He's
thought you
showing
was
it.
an animal, but you not really the animal you thought
Nah,
you
he
was. When you
he went he misjudged an opponent, and Ti came out and he miscalculated who Ti is, and Ti kind of showed him what he was about. But let's go to the next topic. This is a topic that we've.
But hold on,
Go
real
ahead.
quick before we switch over, man. I just want to say this, man. Versus really need the South. So all this disrespectful stuff that we keep on talking, man. Versus need the South. The New York ain't got too many people that can really get on that stage, to be honest with you, and perform and go against. Like I just said, if we go in that just between that
they got
2000,
Busta Rhymes is still there. Like,
between that 2000, but he's done it already too, ain't he? Ain't he done it
Busta,
versus already?
no, nobody want Busta Rhymes for a
Nobody
reason.
want Busta.
No, that's not
No,
true.
because
That's not true. Busta's not a good match for a lot of people, man.
I mean,
They
get
tried
Busta
to.
on that
Who
stage, we
could you
gonna have
really
a
put
problem.
Busta? Who could you really put Busta against that really makes sense? And
Busta and Ludacris would make more sense to me.
Busta is killing everybody on that stage.
they're not, man. Listen to me.
All right,
Listen
get
to
him
me.
out here. Get him out here.
Busta is dope, man. Busta's one of
Get
our
him out here.
iconic greats. Nothing to take away from Busta, but if you listen to Busta's old music,
Bring him outside.
a lot of that music sounds a little bit dated, dog.
But
it
is, and that's what T.I. was saying when Busta tried to challenge him, and he did. Like, I understand what he was saying. Like, man, Busta been out since like '87.
True.
Like, it is a style. It's a style change. Like, T.I. should have wanted somebody more from his class. But
Busta can go against somebody like that. I'm not.
Busta is going to kill whoever's on that stage.
If T.I. specifically, if he wanted to defend the South, he didn't want to go, because that's basically what he was kind of saying. I don't want to go up against another Southern artist. He wanted to go up against somebody from New York or the East Coast, because he felt like they be talking a lot of shit or disrespecting the South. So that was part of his little rundown throughout this little shit. So he wanted to defend the South as the king of the South and go up against somebody from up north. That's what he wanted.
But the South, East Coast legends have already did verses.
Right.
No,
okay.
But hold on. None of them have done it. None of the East
Coast
legends.
What do you mean?
Hold on.
Ghostface did it.
But listen.
You know what I mean?
Let me finish this. Y'all right. This is basically what I'm saying. Think about T.I.'s run. Right?
Okay.
Who was hot on the East Coast? Other than 50 Cent.
Jay was.
Who?
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z? Right, but look how far you gotta go. You gotta dare to pull out, you gotta pull Nas off the shelf.
He's talking
Jay-Z
about the mid-2000s.
You gotta pull 50 Cent off the shelf just to go up against T.I. Who else they even got from that era in time, from T.I.'s era in time and run? Who do the East Coast even have that can even...
Nobody.
They don't have nobody that's even in that range, really. Maybe a Jadakiss.
Fabulous is available. Fabulous is available.
I don't think Fabulous can really go up against T.I.
Right. And this is no diss to T.I., but T.I.
no diss to Fab.
T.I. will also bash everybody in the South. Nobody in the South is beating T.I. So going against New York is no New York. T.I. will bash anybody from the South.
I think
Jeezy can give him a run. Jeezy can give.
Jeezy better calm down, bro. Because when it comes to lyricism, T.I. could be like, cut the beat. T.I. could be like, cut the beat. I want y'all to hear my lyricism.
But that's not about what it
versus is, though.
That's not what versus is, though.
Jadakiss got Cameron out of here by saying, I don't care about this battle. I want y'all to hear my bars. I want y'all to hear my bars. And he got Cameron out of here. So imagine what T.I. could do.
That might be.
You got to be a lyricist for T.I.
If you want to go against somebody from the North, T.I. versus Cam might be a good one.
Cam ain't
Cam
big enough
already
to
did
go
it.
against Ti either.
Cam already did it. He
He
already
not,
did
and
it.
he not big enough to go against Ti. He got big hits. Like
He
the
already
East
did.
Coast, really, to be honest with you, don't even really got nobody.
He
After
not
50 Cent,
Nas is available,
after 50 Cent, they don't really got nobody that can go up against
but
the
Nas,
Ti's, the
Nas from
Jeezys,
another era.
the the Lil Waynes. They don't have nobody in that era that was hot
50
enough to
Cent
even
was the
other
guy.
than 50 Cent. Leroy, chill out. Let me finish this. Let me get it out. They don't have nobody else in that era that can even go up against them. We can't think. Just think about it.
I
Nobody
think
from
they
that.
do, but y'all don't. But people don't care about how dope you are. They care about if your songs made them dance, and that's where New York kind of falls short because New York is trying to be lyrically dope. Nobody cares about your lyrics. They care about if they could get drunk. So that right there is that's
I
gonna,
mean,
you know
a
what I mean?
versus stage depends on how you work the versus stage. You know what I
But
mean?
I'm
But it's
sure
just
there's somebody in the
there
two,
wasn't that many stars of
but
that
they
era from
already
the
went.
East. Yeah,
They
Well,
they was already gone. So there is nobody from Ti's era really that he can really go up against other than 50 Cent
well, the unfortunate,
and maybe a Jadakiss or
well,
a handful of guys. But it's really nobody from that era that was really doing nothing from the East.
well, the unfortunate thing is, with the recent turn of events, we will never see a 50 Cent versus T.I. versus. So that's the
yeah, it's a
unfortunate.
duck.
Right.
That's the unfortunate part of it, and that's sad for hip hop fans, people that appreciate verses, and people wanted to see a nostalgic night of two iconic MCs that, in their respective era, go at it on that versus stage.
Did Rick Ross?
We'll never see it. Rick Ross. I mean, I again, but I want to go back to your earlier point, Soup and Leroy. I don't see who could go against Busta in a. I mean, what I don't know what stylistically would make sense
Nobody.
for a Busta versus a Busta versus. I don't see who could go against him.
Like I said, I think song wise, stylistically, just from they videos and stuff, I think
Missy,
Ludacris
maybe Missy,
will be
maybe
the
Missy versus Busta.
Missy or Ludacris in this.
Ludacris, maybe Nelly. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody like that, but I don't think Nelly got 20 solid songs like that for real.
Nelly
But
got 20
even
joints.
all that
I
street,
know he did the verses. I did not like Nelly's verses though when he did it. So you know what I mean.
even if you try to
I've never
pull,
been a big fan of Nelly's in the first place.
if you try to pull Busta's street card, you're gonna lose. He's from Brooklyn. If you try to pull his lyrical card, you're gonna lose. He has bars. So no matter what route you take, Busta's going to beat you. Now I know people don't feel that way, but it's a reason nobody. It's crickets when Busta Rhymes' name is mentioned. Because you can't go the energy route. You lost. You can't go the lyrical route. You lost. In case, people pause the beat on Busta Rhymes songs. He's actually rapping. Now, you can't pull the street card. Listen to the context of his lyrics. He's talking about the streets. So it's like any route you go, you're losing to Busta Rhymes.
I just think it's a difficult matchup for Buster because he goes from the late '80s all the way up until
Well,
now. So
LL. Well, shit, Busta versus LL then.
it could be something. Yeah, that
Okay,
wouldn't even
all
be.
right, all right.
That's not
I
that crazy.
respect it. I respect it.
Busta versus LL. You know what I'm saying?
But that
E40 versus
energy
Buster
though,
Rhymes wouldn't even be that crazy.
You know,
that
so
energy.
but anyway, let's get off this versus. Let's go to the next topic. This topic we've been I think damn near for the last 3 shows. I mean, actually before that, we've been talking about this for like the last 2 months. Cooper has been talking about it. He said again, it seems like I'm on a damn repeat. I can just play myself as a recording. Says Super said J.Cole should come outside. He should come from the mountaintop, come out of his cave, stop from hiding. So recently, he dropped the fall off, and recently he's been on his trunk tour, driving in a Honda Civic 96. What is it, a 06 Honda Civic or a 2096? I don't know what year the car is. An old ass Honda Civic. He's been driving, doing the country, zip lining through the country, going from city to city, coast to coast. So recently, Chris has been saying on our podcast, he's been, been consistent with his point
I'll be
that
right back.
this is performative. This is something that rings off as phony, inauthentic, lame, and corny. And so Joe Budden recently on the Joe Budden podcast recently weighed in. Let's hear what Joe Budden had to say about this his thoughts on the fall off trunk tour. Let's see what he said. Hold on. Where is it out? Let's just play it. 1 second. Let's share it. All right.
If there's anybody in the world that could not be happier that J.Cole Civic broke down, it's me. It's me. I'm not going to hide.
Because you wanted to see the mechanic footage.
I'm not going to hide it at all, Bart. I can't. I jumped for joy when the news came across my feed that J. Cole and this stupid performative ass Civic broke down like J. Cole knew it would.
It wasn't the newest of Civics.
No, his ass came out and said, "This is a Civic from '96 when I got my first." That's the Civic you shouldn't be driving, Jermaine. You shouldn't be driving. Go get a new Civic. Stop with this. I'm rich, but I relate to you, Collie.
Right.
It's the first car I drove when I had dreams of being a. You talking about going from countryside, one side of the country to another side of the country in a car,
A Civic.
an old Civic. An old Civic. Then he got the nerve to tweet like he disappointed that it broke down. Nobody was happier than me and him that car broke down. He talking about, yo, I guess I'll just get a Sprinter now. And Utah, we still rolling. We got him in the.
All right, let's get to it. I want to say this, right? And before I let Super get off, you know what I mean? For me, I watched some of the series. I actually, I liked it. I had it in the background while I was doing some work, and I thought it was cool seeing, J. Cole. I've talked about this multiple times on this podcast, right? I said we don't live in an era of superstars. I think the concept of a superstar is dying, right? In the 80s and 90s, 70s, even back in the 60s, right? When you had the Beatles, you had concepts of a superstar. When a star can go to the mall and it'd be pandemonium, right? They'll go to Times Square, to TRL, 106 in Park. You know what I'm saying? They would go to like a record signing and people will be, mobs of people will be on the street. Recently, I only saw this with Travis Scott. Travis Scott had a merch signing or a shoe that was coming out, and there'll be fans like everywhere, like jumping on cars. I mean, you saw this in the late 90s with boy bands. You saw this with DMX. You saw this with Ja Rule. I mean, you saw this back in the day. And I think with social media and with YouTube and podcasts, we don't have superstars. And I've always said that the final superstars that we have, or maybe Bono from U2, he's a superstar. You got Beyonce's a superstar. You got Kanye West, and maybe Travis Scott. I mean, that's it. I mean, you don't have superstars because people are so accessible now via posting and posts that the allure of the superstar is gone. So, and I'm not saying that J. Cole's a superstar. It just was nice seeing him come into different cities and people
to be a real human.
People excited to see somebody that they like and appreciate. I thought that was dead. I didn't think that people would come out and bring their children and
stop lying.
I didn't. I thought it was over.
But people take their kids to the mall every year to go see Santa Claus.
That was over, Super. I thought that was over. I thought that we would never see. I mean,
so you telling me? So you really telling me if J. Cole pull up in the Honda somewhere in Atlanta, you don't think people are gonna just want to meet J. Cole? Like, what are we talking about? Like,
well, no, he probably had the cameras out there, but nobody got rich off rap in 25 years, y'all. So why are we out here? Why are we out here playing? Everybody who got rich, it was off another product in the last generation. It was not off rapping.
Let me tee up the question.
The idea of a rich rapper don't even make sense.
Let me tee up the question because I forgot to even tee up
Joe
the topic.
Budden be out here in his jogging clothes.
Hold up. Let me tee up the question because I didn't even think I teed up the question. I was brainstorming, talking about what I wanted to say. But let me ask you guys this: what do you feel about the pushback that Super, Joe Budden, and others have against this trunk tour? They say they call it performative, they call it disingenuous, they call it inauthentic. I think, and I'll pass it off. I'll let you go, Leroy, first, and let Super bring it home. I think it's consistent with J. Cole has been for the last 20 some years. If you watch J. Cole, I think he's just that. I think he's trying out a cool concept with CDs and records. He's doing these meet and greets on putting information on Twitter or X and letting people pull up. And I'm thinking it's cool. You know what I'm saying? I think it's okay. I don't know why he wants to be in a Civic. You know what I'm saying? I think he's about like 6'6", 6'7",
If I started
6'5".
in a
I don't know
Honda,
why. I don't know why. I don't know why. But I do think my wife and I were talking about. She's like, you know what? First of all, she was like, why does he look like this? I was like, well, that's his aesthetic. You know what I'm saying? She's like, does he not have a stylist? I was like, that's not how you want to rock. You want to be how you want. She was like, but after we watched the last episode, she was like, you know what? He's not worried about his safety and that. I said, nah, because he's coming. His energy is as a man of the
Man,
people.
get out of here. That's what I'm saying. That whole shit. You know, it was a team of security probably around the corner.
I say he's with the people. And I say
security for what?
ain't no harm gonna come to him because the energy he's putting out. You know what I'm saying? Ain't attracting that type of reaction. So anyway, I'll pass it over to Leroy. Then Super can bring us home on this topic. Leroy, what say you? Do you think this is performative? Do you think this is inauthentic? Do you think this is disingenuous? What say you about Super and Joe's commentary of the Fall Off Trunk tour?
Okay, so first of all, I think people are used to the idea of the rich rapper. They have fully bought into the Rick Ross aesthetic. So that's the imagination that they live in, the ultra billionaire aesthetic. But in reality, that is not the reality that most of us are living. So we gotta confront that, right? If I came in the game in a Honda wearing my gym clothes, then that's what I'm going with. Like, why do I don't want, even if I'm rich, I don't want to be the rich. I'm not that guy. Like, you know what I mean? And like, as far as the energy putting out, I'm a believer in, if you put out a God energy, you're gonna get a God energy back. People gonna leave you alone. I put out the energy of respect, I get the respect back. You want to put out the tough guy energy and go shoot your video in Medellin, Colombia, then get upset when they try to extort you for some money. It's like, bro, you put out a gangster energy, so now you meet the real Medellin. Like like, it is what it is. Like, you know what I mean? So I just think that, you come in as you're leaving as you came in. But like, to me, this is not a different J. Cole to me. Like you said, he kind of, I think he would look out of place being like, I'm the rich dude. Like, nah, bro. And the reality of it is hip hop. We put way too much emphasis on being rich. Like, way too much emphasis. How many of y'all have dropped 100,000 on a vehicle or dropped 50,000 on a chain? If you ain't did that before, I haven't done that, I'm not even gonna front. So what is the fronting about? You have not done that. So I think that hip hop has to come back down to reality. And I think Cole brings it back down to, like, bro, this is reality, bro. If you want to be a successful rapper, you going to have to drive around in that,
Reality for who?
the most of the fan base, you're not rich.
That's
You're
not
not
Cole's reality, though.
you're not rich. But Cole is taking it back. Look, his album was about his hometown. Humble beginnings in a hometown. So now I'm gonna show you what life was like in my hometown, driving around in my Honda, because this was what my real life was like. That's part of the promo. To
Like I
me,
said,
I
man.
don't
Hey,
think
look.
he's trying to say I'm actually really poor in real life.
How is
I don't
this
think
even a
he's trying to do
rollout? How is
that.
this? If y'all don't like, why is this even a thing? If y'all don't think this
I
is
don't
like some
know.
type of this is some type of this is corny 101, man. And like I said, I hate to kick a man's backhand for giving himself access to the fans. Like I said on the last show, you know what I mean? There's no real good way to talk about this without sounding like you hating. But listen, man, all I can say is game recognized game. Like that's really all I can say. Shout out to people that think like I think. For a while I thought I was the only one that recognized this shit from J. Cole, but I see that now. Obviously I'm not. I mean, shout out to Deleted, shout out to Joe Budden, Shout out to a lot of people that, you know what I mean, top five, Charles, a lot of everybody that's out here that recognize this shit as game. It's game that he running. And it's
Yeah,
not,
but
it
at
just don't,
least be
it's
rich before you speak on another rich person.
it's just not natural. You
You
know
know
what I
what
mean? And
I'm
that's
saying?
all
Like,
we saying, man. It's fine that you want to pretend to be broke, or it's like that's he like he running reverse psychology. He pretending to be broke to relate
you
to the
know who else
people,
pretends they're broke?
or
Like Zuckerberg and all these other.
it,
They be driving around in $20,000 cars. They're driving every day, and they're worth $1 billion.
hey, but just for even the car, for the car to represent like being normal is even corny. You know what I mean? Like it's just like the whole shit. Like that. What? So you gotta have a raggedy ass old ass car to feel like a normal person? Like you got to
Yeah,
dress
but
like a bum. Normal, regular people don't dress like a bum and shit. J.Cole dressed like a bum half of the time. He this whole
but they should
and
though.
listen, I
They should.
understand like his whole this is what I'm talking about. His whole rejection of his celebrity status, and he rejects the money. He rejects the fame. He even rejects the materialism. He rejects the clothes. Like, get the fuck out of here. It's just corny, man. It's super corny.
But super.
I'm glad
These
that
rappers,
people can recognize this, because no, man, this ain't your life. Like, this ain't what you really doing.
it
This ain't
no,
what
it is
this ain't what
actually his
no,
life.
it's not what you
It's
really
not his
doing.
life.
It's not what you have to do. It's what you doing to pretend to feel like a regular person. You think you gotta drive a that car to be normal? You
Why
think you
are
gotta
regular
dress like
people?
that to be normal? The thinking
Why
of it
are
is
regular
corny in
people driving
itself.
Mercedes? Why are regular people driving a Mercedes? Explain that to me. Why? Because you're going to end up crashing your business. Why are regular people out here rocking $50,000 chains? Explain it to me. They're regular people. They're going to crash their business. So I hear what you're saying and
It's
I
not
get
even
it.
real. Like
But
I would
you
even
are
get
going to
if he
crash your
listen.
business.
At least when Ludacris was doing this shit, like this is who he even getting this shit from. This rollout is from Ludacris with the Acura shit. At
Okay.
least Ludacris really had that car. At least he kept it and really had the car. This nigga J. Cole probably went and bought that shit like somewhere a week before,
It's,
the day of. It was like, you know what? This is for my rollout. Let me go get that car. I remember when I had that. Let me get that car. Like, it's just corny. Man. It's just, if y'all don't see that and y'all listen, don't look at it
why
as
are y'all acting like y'all rich?
don't,
That's even more
don't look at
corny.
it like this,
The
man. Just
rich rapper
don't.
is even more corny than being the poor rapper. You're out now. If you're
Like
really
I
rich,
said,
it's not corny. But you know how many rappers is out here playing the rich rapper, but they're actually
like I
not rich.
said,
And that's corny too.
like I
Y'all
said,
are corny.
like
You're
I
gonna
said,
crash your
like I
business.
said, as long as these kids and these fans are having a good time, I ain't got no problem with it,
I
man. You
think
know what I'm
there's a
saying?
message here. I think there's a message
If the
here.
kids,
Why are
if
y'all
the
buying
college
this
kids, if the
luxurious
college
shit for?
kids and the fans are having a good time at these trunk sales,
Y'all want to be rich?
I ain't got no negative nothing to say,
Y'all
nothing
want to
negative
be
to say about it. If they
look.
enjoying it,
Nipsey Hussle was walking around here in sweats.
you
Like
you thought it was performative,
Nipsey
Soup?
Hussle was on route to make 200,
Hey, they say he
300
was.
million
Hey,
dollars.
Super,
He's
you
out here
thought he
wearing a jogging suit.
Super, you thought it was performative. He was serving
Come
fries
on,
and
bro.
burgers at the
Hell
marathon.
yeah, that was corny. Yeah, that
Listen.
was fake and corny
The
too. Like
message.
that's that. Come
All
on,
right,
man. Like
all
that's
right.
what I'm saying. Like
Y'all don't want the message. Y'all want to be Rick Ross. I have news for most of you. You will
Maybe
never
he
be
wanted to
Rick.
help the staff cook a burger and put the
You will
fries
Hey,
in
never
that's
there.
be
how
Rick.
rich. That's how rich and privileged he is. That he think that going and doing that shit is like humbling. You know what I mean? Like, dude, you just
The
doing
thing
some
is,
corny shit. You
if you
just
are
being a
actually a
cornball, man.
grinder,
You ain't being
you're
humble. You just being a cornball. You're not a man of the people because you went in there and flipped some fries and a burger and made
nah.
these people
But
a
he got to
hamburger and
do
shit.
that though. He got to do that though. He got to do
I'm
that
not
because
easily manipulated, man.
come on,
I
man.
just
The
don't.
rest of y'all,
It don't do me.
the
It just
rest of
don't
y'all
do
are
me
y'all
nothing.
never been hustlers, so you can't understand a hustler mentality because you never was one. So, but a hustler out here is not looking like he's made of money. Now, a lot of them are. Don't get me wrong, but we're too used to seeing the ultra rich rapper. That is an illusion. You're
I'm
talking
not
about the
asking him
one.
to.
Hold on. You're talking about the 1% of the 1% of the 1%, which means the other 99.9% are not there. So what in hip hop, we have to get off rich people's, we have to stop glazing them. We have to stop because Most of the people out here are not rich, and you will not be rich off this. So let's just be real, because if you be real, it's more likely that you probably will be rich if you are real with yourself. But if you out here driving a Lamborghini, my man got killed driving his Lamborghini, but there was no purpose. Why was he driving a Lamborghini through the hood? There was no purpose for that, and that's what I'm saying. So it's like we got to come back down to reality. And y'all want to be lifestyles of the rich and famous. I got news for you. Y'all don't have the money to be that. Y'all just don't have the money to be that. I could see if you had the money, but you don't. Now Cole does. Cole does, but I appreciate him saying, look, get used to seeing me on some regular, this is what a rapper looks like. Because 99% of us that rap, we actually look like that. We drive in Hondas or economically viable cars, and we're wearing regular clothes. That's the reality. I'm sorry for y'all. You know what I mean? Like, and we put way too much emphasis. You got little kids out here like, bro, I can't rap, man, because I don't drive a Mercedes. I can't rap because I don't have a chain. I can't rap because I never shot nobody. Like you got no, I know this sounds ridiculous, but you have to keep
It's
in
true
mind
though.
these
You telling
rappers
the
are in
truth
their
right there.
teenage years. I'm talking about rappers that are in their teenage years. So they're not hitting you with the mentality of an adult. They're hitting you with the mentality of a kid. So they're like, bro, I can't come out here with no chain, no Mercedes, no gun, because I'm not a real rapper. It's like, bro, like rapping only requires you to rhyme words. It don't require you to have the rapper kit. So I think Cole is destroying the rapper kit. And hey man, I'm with that. I'm with that.
I mean, like I said, too, I agree with what you said when you saying what you saying. But like I said, just from him, it's just getting tiring. I think that we just tired of this shit from him, and we think it's game he running. It feels performative, and people just see it and feel it and they hear it, and it is what it is, man. So I mean, I think I called this out at the beginning. Before anybody else had the chance to make or kick Cole's back in, I think I was the first one to say, like, man, this shit feel performative. It just don't feel right. It don't feel sincere. It feels like a way to come to the people without having to confront the elephant in the room or do some, it's like you're trying to bypass the process, which is fine. You know what I mean? And if it worked, more power to him. You know what I mean? He putting up numbers with the album. It's working good enough. But it's still gonna be some people that's gonna look at him sideways, like myself, and be looking at him like this dude is too. Now he moving too calculated. Is this for his image? Is this a PR stunt? Is this image rebranding and rebuilding? It
No, I
just
think it's
it
I
makes
think
me feel like that from him. It makes me feel like he
it's real.
performative right now. So
And
I don't
for
know.
all the guys out there, for all the guys that really have the money in their shoebox like that, and they have the money in the closet, it's a lot of dudes that y'all got the money in your closet right now, and y'all could go outside and go crazy. But the thing about it is, right, when you do that, you're gonna bring a lot of unwanted attention to yourself, and that's another layer of game that I don't think we pay too much attention to, because we're paying attention to, oh man, I want everybody to see me. A lot of y'all got the money to go crazy right now. But when y'all go outside the front door with that, a whole bunch of unwanted attention is coming your way. So why even play?
I
Hey,
That's
got
but
just
you.
another layer.
don't you think that pretending to be poor is corny though?
So
Like,
let me ask you this
I
though. So
don't think he's
let
doing.
me ask you this question. So if he would have did the same exact trunk, I don't know if you, I don't know how you can do a trunk sale out of a Sprinter, but just say he had like a damn Tahoe or something, and he like a Suburban, and
he could have did it in that other one, the one he was washing in the
yeah,
in
if
the
he
in the trailer.
if he wasn't doing it in the Honda Civic, and he did it in like a different whip, you wouldn't have no problem with the rollout.
I mean, it's just like the whole performative aspect of everything. It's the whole pretending to be humble, pretending to be. I'm not even gonna say pretending.
Even
Because
CDs, he's
listen,
selling CDs.
I don't want to say pretending because, like you said, Leroy, I think this is him, right? I'm not saying that I'm not even really saying that he faking. It just still feels like a corny, fake choice to make. It feels like a choice that was manipulated and master planned up by the machine. Like they was like, what can we do to get you? How can we get around this situation? And they master planned a good
He
plan,
got
which
his
is
own
good.
label. He got
Right.
his own label.
It's a good plan. They master planned a good way to go around this shit and make it to where somebody like me that's questioning this shit and thinking that this is kind of corny, I'm gonna look like a hater. So like I said, I'm a hater. I will take it. I'm hating right now, but I'm hating. I'll take it. But it's
I
other.
hated on J.Cole too for like 10
At
years.
least I don't feel alone
Like 10
on what I'm thinking about it, because I usually don't like to hate on nothing really, but
I hated
I
on
just feel like
J.Cole like 10
it's not
years.
sincere to me. I don't think it's sincere.
Well, speaking of someone else that has an assessment.
Hold on, just real quick. CDs, right? Ludacris sold 50,000 CDs out his trunk. I want y'all to do the math on 50,000 CDs from
Bro,
anywhere.
nobody's selling CDs
Hold
no more,
on,
man.
hold on. Okay, I get it. But y'all want to bet. Y'all want to depend your life on streaming.
That's
Y'all
what it
want to
is,
bet your
Leroy.
life. You want to bet your life and your children's life.
Nobody's betting their lives on it. That's the way the business
No,
is working, bro.
no. I know as a business y'all are, because y'all get up in them y'all get up in them business meetings and y'all bring up your streaming numbers. I'm not mad at you, but you're betting your life on streaming numbers. So there's lessons to be learned here, and it's just like, come back down to earth. We are, as rappers, we do not run the planet. I know y'all think that we are the biggest thing on the planet. No, no, we're rappers. Come back down to earth, my G. Because when it comes to getting this money, I would rather be outside with the people than to be untouchable. Because if I'm untouchable, I can't relate to you like that. You can't touch me. So the relation is off. You know what I mean? I'd rather be touchable. So now you know, okay, this is a real person. But I get what you're saying though, Ron. But I think there's a lesson to be learned, and I'm glad. And Kendrick teaches these same lessons that Cole teaches. You know what I mean? It's the same end result. Y'all want the movie lifestyle, and I'm not mad at the movie lifestyle, but in order to really get there, takes such a significant plan that y'all overlook the plan and just go into the dream. I'd rather us get to the plan. And that's what hip hop always tries to jump. Let's skip the plan and let's go to the dream. No, you gotta have a good plan, my G. Like Nipsey Hussle, and shout out to him, is he got the area named after him, right? This weekend. But he showed a plan. He wasn't just saying, I'm Nipsey Hussle, so I'm rich now. No. Like, there's a
You
plan.
know, it's something when like people get together and question your sincerity. You know what I'm saying? I think that that's what a lot of people are doing with J. Cole right now. Like they questioning how sincere and like do he mean what he say? Is he like do he like these moves, are they real? I think that's it's gonna be something that he gonna have to deal with until he confront this type of shit. I mean, even I know we're gonna get into it, but with the Cyhi the Prince, um, the statement that he made before the diss song about like you're not having a life that feel like real, like you don't like not being not what he didn't say it like that, but what did he say? Something
Yeah,
like
well, he said, I'm
college
from
kids.
era.
Yeah, let me tee it up. Let me tee it up.
Okay.
Damn it. Leroy interrupted my transition. I was
My
right.
fault,
I had
my
to go
fault.
there, and he's talking about CDs, which account for like 2.3% of all music sales in the world. Why are we even talking about CDs? I have no idea.
Griselda
But anyway,
making millions, like tens of.
2.3% of all music is consumed in
Talk
the
to
world.
Griselda. Talk to Griselda.
2.3%. It's dead. CDs are dead. It's
Bro, they're
over.
counting people with internet access. That means it's overcounted anyway.
It's gonna be like that to the
It is
end of
overcounted
time.
anyway.
We
They're
have
not looking at
Leroy.
Griselda. If you
Until
bring
this
West
goes
Side Gun in
away,
here,
until this goes away, until the computer
if
goes
you
away,
bring West Side Gun in here,
till
and he tells you
Amazon
I
goes
made $10
Leroy,
million off CD.
Leroy, until Amazon goes away, until Spotify, Apple,
Hey,
Google goes away.
okay, so y'all will be poor. Y'all will be poor.
Whatever.
Y'all will be poor.
I don't know how.
There's no way streaming will sustain your life at all. At all.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know about
There is
that.
no way a rapper is going to sustain his life off streaming. Now, unless you came out in the late 90s,
how many CDs
if you
has
came out
Dirk
in the
sold?
late 90s, early 2000s, yes. But if you are coming out in 2025 and you think streaming will give you enough to pay your rent,
how many CDs has Lil Yachty or 21 Savage?
they were already rich. They're backed by major machines. They're rich.
Lil Tyler. How many CDs has Lil Tyler sold? Or OT Mexican?
Bring him in here.
Who?
Bring him in here.
Nobody's selling CDs.
Man, why are we even talking about CDs? Cars don't even damn near come with CD players in them no
Exactly.
more.
I don't know why
When
we
I
talking
tell
why
about
we
y'all
even
CDs.
talking
Griselda
about
profited
CDs?
millions, when I tell y'all Griselda put millions in their pocket, y'all go talk to West Side Gun, man. Y'all go talk to West Side, man.
I never seen.
Y'all go talk to West
Before
Side.
I was so rudely
E40's
interrupted.
new album is coming out on CD, by the way.
Before I was so rudely interrupted by my partner here. Cyhi the Prince has commentary seemingly about J.Cole. Let me share my screen. It seems as though he has something to say about J.Cole. I don't know why. I think he has a problem with lost profits, it seems. So this is hothip-hop-news.com. And he says things on this record. He says, I could never fall off. You were scared of our good brother in that Grand National. Why? Should have knew you and that little Honda was going to have to collide. But I'll tell St. John that them raps ain't that jaw dropping. You forgot I still owe you one for false profits. And then he says, I think what Super was talking about, he says, I grew up in the era where lyricists were from the streets, and it's a bunch of straight A. Now it's a bunch of straight A students who dropped out of college their sophomore year to be rappers. You could tell that they don't have any life experiences, that they're just good with words. Interesting take from Cyhi. I like Cyhi, from Atlanta. Shout out to my brother Cyhi. Worked with Kanye West back in the day. I don't know. My thought on this is I don't know why Cyhi is coming at J. Cole. I don't think J. Cole will respond. If J. Cole does respond, I think J. Cole is capable of doing what he need to do against Cyhi. I think it'll be a good little battle. Just raps. You know what I'm saying? Nothing serious, no real situation. But I don't know. I don't know. I think
He got an album.
I think I find it ironic. I think I find it ironic that Cyhi is taking aim at like college students when he was such an integral part of what Kanye West did as a ghostwriter. I'm not gonna say that. Well, you can say that. I won't say that. As an integral part of Kanye West's art and his music. So I just don't know why that. I think college kids can be rappers. I mean, you look at Ludacris is a college kid. I mean, Ice Cube went
You're
to
lame if you go to college.
Ice Cube went to college. I mean, I don't think it's no problem going to. So I just don't know what the angle. I think Cyhi might have went to college. I gotta check. I gotta check on that. So I don't.
He went to college. Yeah, he graduated.
I don't know what the 2 Chainz with the college. I mean, I just don't know what the vitriol is of.
Because y'all be rapping about the trap instead
Can
of.
I finish my point real quick? I don't know why. That statement was made, but I did like the record. I thought the record was cool. Don't think that J. Cole will need to respond.
I think he do.
I mean, I don't think he needs to.
I think he do. Why not? If you got the time to diss a
whole
whole local rapper,
it's the same reason. Super, you said that Kendrick didn't have to respond to Joey.
I mean, I said that Kendrick didn't have to respond to Joey because it really wasn't direct enough.
Kendrick is the cultural leader.
He didn't say nothing like worth responding to.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
You got me on that point, but this is direct.
On this, he directly calling him out. He's saying you can't fuck with me. He's saying that basically we got beef from the False Prophet song. I should have been on your ass. Basically, he's saying like because when in the False Prophet song, J. Cole called the people surrounding Kanye yes men, and Cyhi was one of the people that was surrounding Kanye, and he like shit. I wasn't no yes man. I pretty much let you slide with that shit, and now I just think that he just think he a cornball. He's another one of them guys that feel like J. Cole is a guy that's just nice with words, ain't really lived or done nothing in life, and you just he don't connect with nothing. So I mean, I feel him. I mean, in the first verse, he talked about how he ducked Kendrick, and what he say, the Grand National and the Honda was gonna collide or whatever. But you dipped on the you dipped on the good kid in the Grand National. We knew someday that Honda and that was something.
Yeah,
I forgot how
you ducked the Grand National. Why? You knew you and that little Honda was gonna have to collide, but he ain't shooting at Kendrick though. So why you got the smoke, but you ain't shooting at Kendrick Lamar? Okay,
he got smoked with J. Cole.
My thing is this, man. It's samurai business, right? A samurai must accept all challenges. A samurai does not duck no challenge, and it's fight to the death, right? This is old school samurai era, 100 years ago, right? The only one that gets to duck a samurai battle is the number one samurai, the one who has killed the most. He gets to duck and pick and choose who. Everyone else must accept all challenges. Now, to bring that onto rap. Once you call yourself an MC, you're a samurai, sir. You're a samurai. There's no getting out of, there's no ducking, nothing. Unless you're the number one samurai, then you can duck. But that's just my rule. So
J. Cole, the number one
I think
samurai.
Hey, but this is where I
gotta
was.
get
This
Kendrick
this is
Lamar.
where I was leading to when I was about to make my comment about J. Cole. Like J. Cole is somebody who you now you have to question his authenticity. How authentic, how real is he? You know what I mean? Like, is this all an act? Because this shit
College
it don't feel authentic. And I think that's part of what Cyhi is saying, and was kind of what he's alluding to when it come down to him, what he was saying about, like, you know, a lot of these guys they lack street credentials, but they just nice with words. They pretend
Cole will tell you I
they can
never flipped a brick though. I
right,
never
but
flipped a brick.
even when Cole pretends to be deep, it don't connect like that because he ain't really saying nothing deep. You know what I mean? It's like
Cyhi is saying
he
directly,
ain't done nothing.
have you
He ain't
flipped
done
a brick?
the reason why these J. Cole songs for the most part don't stick with you or they don't connect with you or he not saying nothing powerful enough because he ain't got no lived experience to go off of to really make it relatable.
Bro,
You know
he
what I
sold
mean?
a
Like,
250,000 records in 1 week.
and that's why it's such a force for him to his image is his thing, his humble image, his nice guy, regular. I'm a
Most
regular
people,
guy. I'm a bum.
most people.
I drive raggedy ass cars and shit to be humble.
But on the flip side,
that
I'm
whole act is in question now. You know what I mean? That's
Cyhi
all.
Cyhi be thinking that all of us flip bricks and shot people. I got news for Cyhi, bro. A lot of these people never flipped a brick and never shot nobody. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. So
A
you're
lot of these
talking
people
to these
ain't never
people
been
like,
real regular people either, though.
no, but Saha is specifically talking to, if you ain't flipped 10 keys in 1 day, you can't speak to me. That's what Saha is saying. That's the
No,
same
he's not.
ethos. Yeah,
No, he's
yeah,
not.
yeah, yes, he is.
No,
Yes,
he's
he
not.
okay. Well, if
No, he's
he's not
not.
saying that, then I'm you're talking about the street, right? So
We
I'm gonna
talking
go there.
about just life
You're talking about the
experience, Leroy.
street.
Leroy, we ain't
All right,
no
so
man. Stop. You
we
gotta
got
stop
different
talking, man.
we got
Leroy, man.
different definitions of
You
street.
gotta stop taking the extremes
In
of
your
street to
song, you
mean
said I
bricks and
sold.
shit.
In your
Just because
song, you said I flipped 10
we're
bricks
not.
in 1 day.
See,
That's your
you
song that
going
you
it to
addressed to
extreme.
J.
I'm not
Cole.
talking about bricks
In
or
your
nothing.
song
I'm
that you
talking
addressed
about
to J.
life
Cole, you said I
experience.
flipped 10 bricks in 1 day. That's your song to J. Cole. That's you saying that. And then you had a whole bunch of gun bars. You made a song, and Saha, I appreciate the song. I like the song. I'm glad you did the song. I don't think I do think there's nuance to your comment. But in your song, you talked about flipping multiple bricks and having multiple shootouts. So anybody who doesn't live up to that is not able to talk to you. That's your standard. Now, if you have another standard, if you meant okay, I mean pin game, that's
That's what I
great.
thought he meant.
But I thought J. Cole had pin
That
game.
is what he meant, but
I thought J. Cole had
he
pin
was
game.
still talking about the, like I said, the street credentials. When we saying street credentials, we're not talking about bodies and bricks. We just talking about
And what
life
credentials you
experience,
got?
just life experience of being, like I said, J. Cole. When we go back to what J. Cole is, right? J. Cole don't got enough life experience, really.
He's like 40 years old.
Yeah, but he been a teen. He damn near was a teenage child star. You know what I mean? He ain't had to do no grimy shit. He ain't had to do nothing. He grew up being a celebrity. You know what I mean?
So when
So
you check somebody's credentials in the hood, right? And not to cut you, if you check somebody's credentials, are you calling their school teachers? Or are you calling the plug to check their
nah,
credentials? Who you call?
nothing. You don't. No, it's not even about that. It's just about how
You're
you
not gonna
talk
call the
about.
plug?
It's just you can hear it by how you talk about life experiences. You know what I mean? You
I
can hear
said,
it.
bro, I had 2 traps, one in Charleston, one in Charlotte. He's strategic. He's basically telling you, bro, I'm really about this trap shit. You ain't never rapped no brick, bro. That's what he's he's
damn
straight
on
up
that.
telling, bro.
Damn
I'm like Farrakhan, how I was rapping them pies.
Damn
I
on
had the
that.
boy
Damn
and
on
the
that.
girl. I
Damn on
had
that.
boy
Damn on
and
that. Well, I
girl
can
in the
tell you
Dodge.
what, J. Cole might not be able to do that, but I know.
Bro, you ain't flipped no bricks, bro.
That's all well and good. Well, how do you feel about J. Cole, how his life experience? I know he can go bar for bar with Cyhi. That I'm confident with.
He ain't flipped no bricks, though.
I don't see it being a difficult challenge for J. Cole, to be
I
quite
think
honest with you.
I think Cyhi will body that man in a battle.
No, Cyhi will rip him.
I think he will destroy him.
Cole should go for it, though. But my
for one, Cole wouldn't be able to keep up with what he would be. Cyhi would destroy that man how Mickey Fax did Averb or whatever.
Averb and
Right.
True. When I tell y'all that he was
Cole,
rapping
bro.
about, when I tell y'all he was rapping about work,
Cole ain't built like that.
Go back and listen to the
his
song.
one battle song was a flop. Like, what is we talking about?
Go back and listen to Cyhi's song. He's rapping about work. All y'all talking about he's trying to make some lyrical. Go back and listen again. He's rapping about flipping work. So I'm sorry, Cyhi. No, Cole is not from that. And if that makes him a lame, then he's lame. Okay? But when we talk about the streets, I'm tired of everybody pretend that we're talking about, oh, if you are cool with soccer moms. That's not what the streets is. When we talk about the streets, we are calling the neighborhood plug and we're going to ask for your name. Hey, was Ron ever in the trap making that stove jump? And if the plug says, no, I never seen Ron making that stove jump, I'm going to say, okay, well then Ron is not a real nigga like me, okay? And yes, it sounds ignorant, but I have to say though,
I'll tell you, fuck you and the plug, nigga.
Right. No, as you should. But I'm critiquing small critiques on Cyhi's record because a lot of your bars had to do with that, Cyhi. And no, Cole is not about that life. So if you want to pull him on that card, congratulations, you win. Cole is not.
I just think, like I said, I think it's more about people like it's more like people nerds and shit giving life advice. They got a lot. It's a lot of these people that come out. They speak all humbly wise and shit, and they never did nothing. Never been nowhere. Never did nothing.
Common
sense.
I
get it. I get what he's saying. I get it. I understand exactly what he means. Like you come out. You come out, you preaching about how shit should be when you ain't done nothing. You ain't never been off the porch. You can't even speak on
Nas made his first $1 million when he was 18 years old. Nas was a millionaire.
The reality of his surroundings was enough to make it is what it is. That's what built that's enough to give you street credentials.
Vietnam, bro.
Man, he wasn't in Vietnam. Y'all know that man
Nas
wasn't
was a millionaire
out there
when he was
doing
18
nothing.
years old. How much work did he put in?
He was a kid.
I'm just saying though, I get what he's saying. So if we're going, but that's backwards thinking to me. In the 90s, you had to shoot somebody in order to get respect. That was the 90s. We are way past the 90s, bro. We are way past that. So now we're still.
I'm so tired of talking about the streets in this type of way. Like I said, I hate that everything. Every time we talk about the streets, it's got to go to like drug dealing,
violence,
and shooting. Like that's not the streets, man. That's not always. That's not what the streets is about, man.
Hey, man.
That's not.
I wish it was about selling like books.
It's a small portion of the streets, man. But that's not all what the streets is.
But how come every time I hear somebody rapping about the streets, they're telling me about drugs?
Everybody from the streets ain't got to sell dope. You can be from the streets and not be a part of it.
So where are the records saying selling drugs is whack and busting guns is whack? Where are those records?
There's plenty of them.
Okay, I don't hear them. Not since the 80s. Okay? But, but in regards to what Cyhi's saying, bro, you're not going to be able to sidestep me, Cyhi. And I respect Cyhi and I respect the song. But I know you're talking about real street activity. And no, most people have not done that.
I mean, even look at
but when we talk about the streets in hip hop, we mean gangsterism. That's what the street means, because if that was not the case, we would be saying street means that you go work at McDonald's. Street means that you go work at UPS. That would be our definition of streets. But we don't use that definition. Street means you go to college. We do not use that. The definition of streets is, are you making that stove job and are you popping them things? That's what street means.
Let's get it back to wax, though. And I just think you guys are discounting J. Cole. I think if it's a battle that were to ensue, I think J. Cole is more than adept and capable enough putting in that work. And I think I disagree. I think if you listen to the whole Might Delete Later, I think that was a whole diss project. You know what I'm saying, I'm Ready 24, Hunting for Wabbits. He dissing Kendrick on the whole damn album. We only focus on 7 Minute Drill. If
They
you listen,
wasn't
if you
good
if you
though,
li-
like that. That shit was, it came and
He
went.
wasn't.
It didn't
He wasn't
stick.
good.
It wasn't nothing.
He
The
wasn't
songs
good.
wasn't
first
they
person
didn't
shooter,
stick.
first person shooter. I mean, let's not discount what Cole can do on this mic,
Here-
man.
Here's
That's
here's
all I'm
an
saying.
here's another element too, because Mickey Fax just had a recently thing about ageism and we let the youth lead. I've heard a lot of people like
Yeah,
SO
that's my
from back.
next topic. But go ahead.
Oh, sorry. But when you get to a person like Cyhi, which I will agree with him on, you cannot write a rhyme like Cyhi. The reason why you can't write a rhyme like Cyhi is because Cyhi is talking about his real life, and I'll give him that. So you can't beat him in rhyming, because when he starts rhyming, he's using his real life. The rest of y'all are using some type of imaginary life that you constructed in your mind as your life. Cyhi's not doing that. So he automatically is going to win because the detail is too detailed to where it's like, oh, okay. Same
Leroy,
with P.
it's interesting, Leroy, that you say that. It seems to me, hearing you speak, you have a lot of respect of Cyhi's perspective. But have you heard of Cyhi speak on Kanye and the glowing things he says about Ye and how his friendship?
If you're paying me millions of dollars,
He
I'm
ain't
probably
paying him no more, and he still got respect for Ye.
yeah. But if you paid me millions of dollars, I'm not dissing you. I'm just not. I'm sorry. Like if you pay me millions of dollars right now, 10 years from now, I'm not dissing you. Because you paid me millions of dollars. Now Kanye is a lame. The rest of y'all that respect Kanye, that's y'all. To me, the guy's a lame. The guy's a duck. You know what I mean? But I'm not. Now if Cyhi wants to, if Cyhi wants a real battle, there are places he could go to get that, and people he could ask to get that. If you really or really want to go, you know what I mean. But I respect the play, and no, Cyhi is the top of the food chain. I mean that is Kanye. As far as again, I'm giving Kanye his props. But when we talk about the words that Kanye was saying, somebody had to write that, my G. So in that regard, when he says I am the capital Y, when you look at old Kanye promo, the Y was capital. So it's like he's telling you who you think you're talking to. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad that these guys going at him. No, I'm glad that Simba did that little smack, like the little something. I'm glad that Cyhi is getting at him. I think it should be more people that hey, look, you gotta test Cole's jaw now. We gotta test Cole's jaw now.
Hey,
See,
if he come
we gotta
outside
test
on
his
you
jaw.
though,
He
if
the
he
number
come
one,
outside,
as Leroy said.
Because he's still ready for the smoke. So if he can come out and diss a local rapper,
As Leroy said, Cole the number one samurai right now. He ain't got to respond to none of that shit.
Kendrick is the number one samurai in rap.
Cole ain't the number one or nothing. Cole
If
the number
you
one.
can't charge more money than Kendrick to do a show right now, you're not the number.
You know, his tour looking
Kendrick can
crazy.
charge $10 million.
The fall off tour looking crazy right now.
Why wouldn't it look crazy?
Kendrick,
That's what I'm saying. Y'all got a lot of low expectations for celebrities and people
y'all
that's
told me. Hip hop fans told me that he was he was ducking
nobody
smoke.
told you that.
He was
Nobody
out of the
said
top
that.
3, and he was
No,
done.
He was never
think-
in the top 3. He was
no,
never in the
he
top
was
3.
definitely
Big
in the
3.
top 3.
No,
Y'all
he
told
never
me he
was in the
out
top
big
based
3.
on like
He
record
was
sales.
He was working his way into the top 3, but in reality,
Y'all
he
told me
never was really top
y'all
3.
told me Kendrick bodied all these dudes, and these dudes still selling records.
Are we
These guys
basing it
still
on
doing
record
tours.
sales?
Y'all told me Kendrick killed all these dudes.
I
and
ain't
he
never
did.
told you. I never said that.
And when that
I
Iceman
never
drop,
said nothing.
and when that Iceman drop, it's gonna be more records sold. But that's
most
neither here nor
people,
there. That's neither here nor
most
there.
people, when you say the big 3, they're gonna name Drake, Kendrick, and Cole. Am I right about that? So if most people are gonna,
I don't think so. I think the internet made that a thing.
so who are you? Who is done more?
I told y'all before. The real big 3 at the time, Kendrick really wasn't like down there in the big 3 at this time, other than awards. But the real big 3 was Drake, Future, and 21 Savage. That was the real big 3 when we was talking about this shit. But realistically, you got to put Kendrick in there. So
21 Savage is past Kendrick Lamar.
I'm not gonna. Listen. I'm talking about as
At
far
the
as
time,
like
he said
at the time, as far as putting out music.
What time?
And
before the battle.
Before the battle,
Kendrick
and all
came
that.
out in 2010.
We talking about the people. We talking about the guys that was holding down. Kendrick, yes, but he wasn't. It's not like Kendrick was putting out music like that. You know, Kendrick took his break. He took his 4-year break or whatever. Then he came back with Mr. Morale. You know, he came back with Mr. Morale, so he wasn't like in the.
But he's going diamond. He's selling 10 million copies.
Right. So I will agree that Kendrick, you can still put Kendrick in there because he was winning the awards. He was still selling the albums.
Yeah.
But he didn't have the album output like a Future or 21 Savage or whatever. You know what I mean? Right. You was hearing those guys. You was hearing those guys for 10 years. Like those are the 3 guys that you was hearing the most for the 3 years. So those were the big 3 to me, for real. Now, as far as we're going to go rap-wise and skill-wise or whatever, okay, yeah, then you can put J. Cole in the skills big 3 section. But no, J. Cole was never really in the big 3. Even as far as song-making, albums, whatever you want to, whatever level you want to put him in, he was never a big 3, for real.
J. Cole started his career on tour with Jay-Z, Drake, and Rihanna. That's the start. That's day one.
All 3 of the people that I named in the big 3 that we just said, maybe, for me, except for Drake, got a classic. I don't think Drake got a classic because I just don't listen to Drake enough to care or think or say that he got a classic. But I know that 21 Savage got a classic, and I know Future got a classic.
Someone could argue that Take Care and Scorpion are classics, but that's neither here nor there.
Most people say that J. Cole may not have a classic. Some people say might delete later.
Forest Hills Drive, people consider classic.
Yeah, some people and some people don't.
Once you go past
it's not hands down.
Once you go past a certain demographic, people ain't saying 21 Savage music is classic like that, nor Future. Once you go past a certain demographic, if you're in New York City, New York City
don't matter.
Whoa. If you're in New York City or California and you're like 21 Savage is that nigga or Future's that nigga, they're like, okay.
New York's opinion on hip hop at the current moment doesn't matter.
Started the culture.
Yeah, but
you're all here because of New York.
Hear my voice on this microphone. New York's opinion of hip hop currently in 2026 does not matter.
It don't.
There's no relevance.
They're the reason we're
I'm
here.
not talking about historically. I'm talking about 2026 at this current time. The opinion
and
of New York.
Jay-Z.
The opinion. They don't have Jay-Z right now. The opinion of New York does not matter. Their opinion is irrelevant.
That's
they ain't had nobody hot since 50 Cent.
I think when people say big 3, they mean record sales. So in the regards of record sales, if you're not showing me the guy outselling Kendrick, Lamar, Cole, and Drake, then I don't know.
I'm talking about record sales. I'm talking about hit songs, being on the radio, the guys that was pushing, that was moving the culture, and the guys that you was hearing outside. And when you go to the clubs, the videos.
Nobody got more play than them. Nobody.
Right. Nobody was getting more play than them 3 during that time. So those 3 were the big 3.
You'll never catch more play than them 3, than Cole, Kendrick, and Drake. They've been played on radio so much that they're uncatchable. And what we have to know about radio is you're getting the transmission of the radio stations close to your area. So you think that represents the whole country. That doesn't. The other radio stations are playing different songs. So you didn't hear Kendrick songs. But if you were in Los Angeles, I guarantee that they were playing Kendrick Lamar. You see what I'm saying? And the amount of times Los Angeles was playing Kendrick Lamar has surpassed the amount of times that maybe they were playing Future in Milwaukee. And that's not a diss. That's just a radio loop, or a syndicated loop. And that it just is what it is.
I mean, no, it's just about the work that they was putting in. They put in the work. They was making collab CDs. They was working with Drake. They was keeping the culture moving. They was making the songs that was hot and popping for 10 years. It is what it is. J. Cole, he might have had a song, but he wasn't feeding the streets like that. J. Cole didn't start feeding the streets really until his feature run. That's when he really started getting hot. When he started getting his respect up, and then once his album came, it flopped.
J. Cole got the girls. Once you get the girls, bro, it's a wrap. Once you get the women on your side, it's more women than anybody else. Once his first song was the workout song, right? Drake got a Houston, Atlanta, Vegas, right? So they went and got the girls. Once they got the girls, my G, it was a wrap. I mean,
Do you think J. Cole got more platinum albums than 21 Savage?
No.
Off the top of my head, I would guess yes that he does.
I don't think so. I don't know the numbers right now off top,
I
but
don't know.
I would think not. I mean, I would think that this is probably J. Cole's second platinum album.
I mean, but again though, if J. Cole comes to wherever, if J. Cole comes to Atlanta right now and puts tickets on sale, he's gonna sell out and he's gonna sell out immediately in an arena. 21's not doing that. Future's not doing that. If Future can do that, I would love to see it. I'm not saying he
I
can't.
mean, they've been doing it for a long time.
Okay,
You know what I mean? Like they don't
on
really
sale
take
right now.
breaks.
Put tickets on sale right now, and just you, not you and 20 other people, just you, and sell it out. You know, I'm not saying you can or cannot because I haven't seen it. Maybe you can. So that's why I'm not gonna totally throw it out the window. But J. Cole, he definitely can right now. He'll sell out an arena right now with just him. You know,
I can agree.
that's crazy, bro. Like that's 50,000 seats, bro. That's like some shit. That's like, man, you can't even really explain that. I'm gonna sell 50,000 tickets, bro. That's like a football game, and I'm just me. That's crazy. So I mean, I understand that we all have our own ecosystem of plays because in my ecosystem, no, neither all three of them are not in my main ecosystem. I keep it a buck. No, I do not listen to them in rotation. But I'm just saying when it comes to them big leagues outside, these guys could do some damage out here that's significant. And that's not a knock to nobody else, but they would have to really get on their grind. I would like to see what Future could do if he went on tour like that because maybe I'm underestimating.
Well, I think Future go on tour too much, and 21. I think they tour too much. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know. I don't know how. I can't really say. You know what I mean? I can't really say. I know J. Cole. I think he's a bigger name than them. But like I said, just putting the way that the music that they was putting out, the music that they was putting out, and the work that they was putting out for those years made them the real big three of hip hop. Now you know Kendrick and them. They the guys. They might be the main attractions when they drop. The world might stop, but the guys that was feeding the streets the most and doing collab albums and having hit
I won't
songs
argue
and
that.
number one Billboard songs and number one songs on the radios and number one songs, you know, like they was the guys that was keeping the shit moving.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Let's segue to something that Leroy brought up a minute ago. Let me share my screen. This concept about ageism and hip hop, and we've talked about this a lot, right? You know, over the years, I've always talked about why does it seem that hip hop being over 50 years old, some people say it's older than 50. We'll debate that another day. Why is it that hip hop seems to have a limit on our artists? We talk about old rappers and people aging out and OGs, and it seems to be a reverence for older hip hop artists. And I think maybe because the culture or the genre is relatively new. I don't believe that, but say it's 50 years old, we don't have it where rock and rolls from like the 1800s and the 1910s and 20s or jazz. So we don't have the reverence as we do for the older, you know, classic rock or rock and roll acts. So that is this whole conversation about ageism and hip hop. A friend to our show, a friend of ours, Mickey Fax, talked about this recently on his joint. Let me share my screen and let's pull up what Mickey had to say about ageism in hip hop.
This time from the Queen, Rose the artist. Rap is dying because it's always been a young person's game, but the old men won't move out the way for the new ones. They're 30, 40 plus, still trying to be the face of the culture. Let the youth lead. That's how rap has been fresh for decades. Now, there is truth to what she is saying in terms of letting the youth lead. However, as an artist who is 40 plus, I am enjoying some of the best years of my life as a lyricist. And I think it's important to not have ageism dictate how the culture is going to move. There are still capable MCs and artists that are growing and that are older that are doing great things. It doesn't mean that the youth can't also succeed and do what it is that they do. But what do you think? Do you agree with Rose the artist? You agree with me? Let us know in the comments below. Sign up for our Patreon today.
Yeah.
So I got a couple thoughts before I let Leroy go, and then Super. I do think she is right. Rose the Artist does have some cogent points, right? Hip hop has always been a youthful art form. The young has always been the backbone of it. But again, if hip hop is 50 years old, we have to look at it as a relatively new space. Therefore, the rules are a little bit different. When she says the youth should drive the culture, I would ask her what MCs that are young should be dictating the culture. Is it Playboy Cardi? Is it La Tyler? Is it I don't know. I don't know who. Is it from a female perspective? Is it Ice Spice or is it somebody in their 20s like Lotto? What young is it? Is it the drill rappers that's coming out of Chicago? Who would be the youth that should be leading it? Because if you listen to the hip hop that they make, it's my man NBA Youngboy. Yeah, are we supposed to follow? Is hip hop the culture supposed to follow that?
Baby King.
I would argue no, because the message doesn't seem to have a cohesive message. I mean, if you look at the youthful artists back in our time, and I'm not trying to sound like an old head, well, you had NWA, you had Wu-Tang Clan, you had, Gangstar was young, you had Poor Righteous Teachers was young, you had Black Sheep, you had people like Lady of Rage that was relatively young, you had Queen Latifah that was young. So the message of our youth from our time was a little bit different from the youth of today. So when we say we should follow the youth, we have to ask questions. What is the message of the youth today? And should we follow them? And again, the rules may be different because hip hop is only 51 or 52 years old. We don't have elder statesmen like the Rolling Stones or U2 or Bon Jovi and all these other rockin' Bruce Springsteen and all these legendary rock
Yeah,
acts that
we
that,
getting
that
there.
we follow.
We
So
getting there.
it's a little bit different. I don't know. I agree. I do think ageism in hip hop it should not be a thing. I think we should respect the OGs that paved the way and really contributed and created the culture that we speak about, that we envelop our lives around. I think we should respect that, but I also think we need to be very careful. We should also support the youth. I'm not saying let's not bring the youth along and each one teach one and try to give them some nuggets and jewels so they can pick up on and grow. But I do think when you say statements like we should just step out the way and let the youth lead it, I question where will the youth lead us and what messages are they sending? So Leroy and Super, you guys cook up on that.
Well, I would suggest that the OGs kind of look out for the youth and be a shield for the youth and kind of lead them in a direction. Because if you like, just look at your own family dynamics, right? When you have gatherings with the family, nobody says, "Okay, we're gonna put the 5-year-old at the head of the table. He's the head of the like." No, nobody says that. We're gonna put the 20-year-old at the head. They always go to the elder in the family for the family advice, right? Because the elder has the advice. Also, there's things that can be articulated, right? You look at Baby Keem's album that just came out. The first song was No Security. Last song was No Blame. The middle song was I'm Not a Lyricist. So those were three good songs. But in between that, you're trying to explain to me the life of Las Vegas, right? And I'm not undercutting your experience as a 25-year-old man. But Jay-Z was also a 25-year-old man rapping about the experiences of Vegas. So let's take Baby Keem's album and let's take Reasonable Doubt. Who articulated the lifestyle better? You feel what I'm saying? Now they're both the same age, but in our time when you were 25, you were OG. You were Unk. If you made it to 25, you were the OG, right? Because we didn't look at, you know, young to us was teenage. Teenage years was considered young. But once you hit your 20s, you were considered a grown person. You know what I mean? So, but I do think, too, as far as articulation, right? You look at the Cyhi song, articulating experience. It takes a little bit of life to do that. Mickey Fax has a song about a teacher that got punched trying to break up a fight. So the teacher got punched. It's called Long Goodbyes. The teacher got punched and suffered brain damage. So the teacher's in the hospital and they're trying to reassemble this person's brain, right? So the person was a Mickey Fax fan, so they're playing the Mickey Fax songs because Mickey Fax's words are cohesive. So as they're playing the words, they reconstructed the person's brain function off listening to Mickey Fax's rhymes. I want y'all to really rewind what I just said and think about how crazy that is that happened in reality. So what I'm saying is a older rapper has the cohesion and the thoughtfulness in their words. A younger rapper, such as a Baby Keem, again, no disrespect, I think that Baby Keem, you're 25 years old, so your experiences is not the same as somebody who's 40 years old. I have 40 years of experience. You see what I'm saying? So no, and also business wise, all the rappers put out your business plan, right? And look at it on paper. Now you have your business plan, you're looking at it. You mean to tell me if you're 20 years old, you're going to accomplish all that? I just need to understand. If you can, then that's awesome. I think. But look at your business plan. Now you mean to tell me you're 20 years old and you're going to go out here and accomplish this entire business plan at 20 years old, 21, 22, 23, 25, 26, 27? No, no, sir. No, sir. You're going to need experience. It takes experience. I've bombed at shows, meaning like I didn't really rock the show like I thought I was going to rock it. And then there's other shows where I rock the house insane. But it's experience that teaches me how to know the difference. There's contracts that I should not sign. There's contracts that I should sign. There's, you know what I mean? So there's things that you have to, there's business I should not do without a contract. There's some business I'm not tripping. We'll get to the paperwork later. But if you don't, I think the young ethos is predatorial on the bit. I think the business says, and to all the record execs, the young, we got to get the young guy. I think that's because you could put a contract in front of him and he's gonna sign it based on desperation. And y'all know that. If y'all put a contract in front of a 30-year-old, a 30-year-old is not gonna is desperate to sign this contract. A 30-year-old is gonna go get a lawyer, go through the process, and y'all know that. You know what I mean? So that's just my opinion over it. I think the elder, when I was young, I used to listen to older rappers. I purposely sought out 8 Ball, MJG, Scarface, Spice One. I'm purposely looking for I'm talking about my teenagers, right? So I'm looking for Ice Cube. I'm looking for the rappers that are older than me for a reason. Like, for a reason. You know what I'm saying? I want their knowledge. I'm not searching out. I could have listened to Bow Wow. You know what I mean? But I didn't think that Bow Wow had enough to give me a knowledge base. So I had to go look for Wu Tang. You know what I'm saying? That's me.
I think hip hop don't have an ageism problem. Hip hop got a maturity problem. I think that even like you just brought up, Baby Keem is 25 years old, and NBA YoungBoy is about what 25 or something like that now too. Compared to Nas and Tupac and like guys that was 25 back in the 90s or younger, 17, 15, some of them 18 years old. Compared those guys to a 25-year-old now, the music is just it's a lot more immature compared to the 25-year-olds of the 90s in general. So that's one thing. I don't think we have an ageism problem. I think we got a maturity problem with grown men still wanting to be kids and rap like kids and act like kids and and be younger than what they are. But with her statement, what I really hear is rappers that's 40 plus, stop rapping. You making us look garbage. Stop rapping. Y'all rapping too good. And y'all need to get out of the way so we can get some of our garbage off. That's really what I'm hearing. Like, if it wasn't for you guys rapping and the Clips dropping albums and even guys like Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar is 40. So now she's talking about Kendrick. She want Kendrick to get out the way. She want Cole them out the way. And guys that's almost hitting they are almost hitting their hip hop maturity now. Guys that's hitting 40 years old are where guys like Tupac and Nas and them was at when they was 19. I think that we're gonna have this so-called ageism problem because it's taking artists a little bit longer to grow up. They got to go through this process. So right now, I think that it's only going to be fair, especially if a guy going to have talent and be able to last and be around long enough. We got to give an NBA young boy some time to get in his 30s, 35 years old, and see what he going to be rapping like then, if he even still be rapping. I mean, I think a lot of these guys, they're going to lose their passion. They probably won't even be rapping by the time they get that old anyway. They probably be here and gone. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I hear. I hear 40-year-old older guys get out the way because y'all reminding us about how garbage we are. Y'all taking up the awards, y'all winning all the awards, the Grammys, all of that shit. Y'all taking everything. So
Yeah,
get
man.
out the way and stop reminding the world of how bad we really are.
To me, you know, real quick before you go again, Ron, but to me, when we talk about classic songs, we bring up really serious songs. Like, when people are talking about classics, they'll bring up "When I Reminisce Over You." They'll bring up "Dear Mama." They'll bring up "Smile." They'll bring up "If I Ruled the World." So you're bringing up really serious songs, my G. That takes a really intelligent mind to write that. So
Right.
now we're trying to transition and follow the Drake blueprint. And if you want to follow that blueprint, I don't care, follow it, right? So you're gonna look at songs like "Best I Ever Had," right? Or you're gonna look at and that's fine, but that's just a lesser model of it. It doesn't take the skill. It takes musical skill. Yes, it takes musical skill, but it's not a substantive. It's not "Today Was a Good Day." It's not you know what I'm saying? And that's fine too. But we're looking for ways to find the shortest shortcut for the biggest result. But again, though, when we start naming classics, though, we're gonna start naming some pretty serious songs, man. And it's like it's still possible to do those songs, but you're gonna have to have some experience, some life experience, like Cyhi was just saying. And I know I minimized it down to street activity, but I would say life experience does help you write these songs,
I
my G.
mean, and then when she said we need to get out, like what is she actually saying? Like you said, Ron, for who? Who are we supposed to be allowing just to take over hip hop? Because half of these dudes they despise rap. They want to do other shit. So we're gonna leave rap in the hands of people that don't even really respect rap and don't take rap serious.
That's on some other shit like Playboy
Right.
Cardi. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Even the thing with Lil Yachty out here disrespecting rappers delight and shit. Like come on, man. Like what is we doing?
Crazy. No,
We
yeah.
supposed to leave hip hop in the hands of somebody that think like that and shit.
Right,
No.
right. It doesn't make any sense. So we got to be really careful when we say we're going to leave it to the youth. If the youth ain't producing like the people that I said back in the day, and I'm not trying to say, our era was different and stand on my high horse, but it was different. And it goes back to social media again. I think the youth are incapable of creating music that resonates and has maturity to it because of the phones have made our minds so programmed. And so all we want is short takes. We want short records, songs that are less than 2 minutes or a minute, 2 minutes and a half, 2 minutes and 30 seconds, whatever the case may be. We want to watch shorts, reels. We don't want to watch a full, even though the analytics say that data shows that people want long form content. YouTube pays more, Netflix is spending a grip on buying podcasts. So it's value in longer form content and longer conversations. But the youth are driven by reels and shorts and memes and short songs. So it's the brain can't produce it. You're not gonna see I ain't seeing no Nirvanas out here. It's not just a hip hop problem. I'm not seeing no Nirvanas out here. I'm not seeing no Smashing Pumpkins, no Rage Against the Machines. I'm not seeing nobody with no guitars. I ain't seeing no Jimi Hendrixes out here.
You
I ain't
know what
seeing no
else you
Prince.
ain't even seeing either?
Go ahead,
You're
go ahead,
not
Sue.
seeing you're not really seeing new style either. Like these kids, this is a whole thing right now going on where like there's a who dresses the worst or which generation, and they all say millennials or whatever. Millennials can't dress, but then they showing pictures of them looking just like us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right,
Jordans,
right.
t-shirts, jeans, wearing exactly hoodies. The whole outfit that I was wearing in 6th grade, you got on right now.
Right, and
You
it's
know what
just,
I mean?
it's crazy. And if the youth was so great, the way that things are today, that we wouldn't be having this on this nostalgic replay. It's like on Wednesday. I ain't trying to give no free promo because they're not paying us. NBC is doing the NBC throwback NBA. They got Bob Costas, they got Hannah Storm. They're using the old music. They got the old graphics. They're gonna have PJ Carlissimo and Mike Fratello and Jim Gray. They taking their whole broadcast back because they know that was a better time of delivering information and putting together a package. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know what to
I
say. I
mean,
just think we got to be very careful with the words we speak. Go ahead, Leroy.
Well, I think the youth, you got to trust yourselves too, though, right? Like Baby Keem, he spoke a lot about his mom on the album, and you can see people relate to that. It's something in his relationship with his mom that people relate to. The youth has to trust their ability to speak about something like that and have people relate to that. But if you're just gonna try to sell me the hit song or the hit formula, and that's all you're gonna ride out on, then no, I don't think you should be at the steering wheel of culture. Like culture is a serious thing. We narrowed that down into like getting money, but no, it's very serious. Like Ti being at the head of culture, if he is, I'm not saying he is, but for some people, Ti is who they look up to, right? So Ti has a responsibility. So when he's showing his family and he's representing for his family, that's a cultural lesson to be learned. You know what I mean? So it's important. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And it's just like I said. I mean, when you look at these rappers, man, I'm a grown ass man, so I can't. For me, if you know, I'm just gonna keep it real. I probably shouldn't say it, but I'm just gonna say it. The reason why we couldn't do like an NBA YoungBoy review on the album is I couldn't. I feel like I was listening to a baby. I couldn't. I can't.
Right.
I can't listen to a man talk baby talk on an album sounding like a baby. It sounds like, to me, it just sound like a toddler rapping, like, for real, to me. And like I can't listen to a grown ass 25-year-old man
No.
rap and talk like that in that type of voice. I got some of that same problem with King too, with the baby King. I mean, I can't really sit down and really listen to that. I'm a grown ass man. Like, I can't listen to a guy playing with his voice too much and doing a lot of that stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like, hey, look, I understand and I feel the youth in a certain way because it's a style clash. We they want to do things they want to the way that they want to do it, and they feel like it's their time to be winning the Grammys, winning the awards, and getting
Okay.
all the attention. But yeah, I mean, y'all gotta represent hip hop better than what y'all. If y'all want it, I think we will be glad to pass the torch. But y'all gotta represent hip hop a little bit better than what y'all doing right now.
Yeah,
Crazy,
I don't think the older people would hate on the youth. I think they would support the youth. Like,
Right.
like we don't have to be in the way. Like we got other shit going on. You know what I'm
Hey, like when Game and Snoop, seeing that Kendrick was one of those ones and he was one of the ones that was worthy of passing the torch, they gladly passed the torch to him. When Jay found J. Cole, and J. Cole was doing what he's doing, and J. Cole thought he was gonna be one of those ones Jay-Z thought J. Cole was gonna be one of those new up and coming. Like, I don't think that we really got a problem with passing the torch, but we want to pass the torch and leave the game in good hands. We don't want y'all just taking advantage of the game. A lot of these kids don't understand what hip hop is enough. They don't respect, like I said, they out here talking about they don't want to rap, they don't like lyrics.
That's crazy.
Some of these rappers take rapping too serious. Like, no, what the hell are y'all talking about?
crazy.
And at the same time, y'all doing punk rock and country songs and mixing all this other stuff while y'all disrespecting the culture that we in.
Cr- Crazy, crazy. All right, we got to wrap up. We got a couple more topics left, but I hate to breeze through this. We may have to come back maybe tomorrow and really go into a deep review. But y'all got any thoughts about this Boldy James and Rome Streets album? What y'all think about the joint?
I can go real quickly, Roy, if you want me to, because I know you're gonna
Yeah,
probably
go
be a little
ahead.
bit longer. I'm a fan of both of them, right? And I think that the album is cool. Like, it's cool. It's nothing to me. It's nothing really special. Like, I think it's two guys getting together, sharing drug stories. Basically, that's what I hear from the album. Like, they pretty much comparing selling drugs in Detroit to selling drugs in I think what Brooklyn, is that where you from? Wrong. So I mean, I think that's basically what I get from the album. They comparing street drug stories throughout the whole album. I think Boldy, kind of carried the album a little bit more. It feels like more of a Boldy James style album to me, and it's just featuring Rome Streets. Like, it feels like more of Boldy's ideas, and Rome is just fitting in where he can fit in on a lot of, like, on Boldy James type of songs and shit. And that's why I think that it's more like they going back and forth just comparing drug stories. That's what I hear the whole album. So I mean, that's it's really not much more deeper than that. It's not much more deeper than that for me.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I mean, yeah. I mean, one thing aside, I mean, I think the project was cool. I really liked Tricky and what you got, Hot Plates. Is it Hot Plates
I
or
like hot plates.
yeah, yeah, it was Hot Plate, and I like Cheat the Grind too. The last song that was fire. Hold on, there's a plane flying over my head right now.
I like the whole album because it's just I'm a Boldy fan. It's my style, but I mean, like to be honest with you, it's nothing to be really writing home about. The production is loopy, soulful production, same stuff that we've been getting from them. You know what I mean, over and over. So it's like nothing really.
Right.
It's kind of like nothing new to really say. I mean, if you a Boldy fan, you already know what it is.
Well, here's what I really want to say, and I'm gonna stay on Boldy, man. I'm sorry, and pretty soon I'm gonna get on Rome too, and not in a negative sense. I'm actually, I rock with y'all. What it is as an artist, you build up equity, right? And you're putting out project, you're establishing fan base over here, over there. You're doing shows over here, over there. You're doing everything you can to establish um, a market, an ecosystem for yourself. But after you've already established that, though, you got to know that I've already established that. So now let me take this work that I've accumulated and go sit down with a major and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? You could mess with them or you could not mess with them. It's not like Boldy is not where he don't have to do nothing. Rome don't have to do nothing, right? But I think after Boldy, after you've built up such equity, go sit down with Shady in Detroit and be like, yo, I'm from Detroit too. What could we do? Yes, it will be a different market. Yes, it will be a different sound. Yes, it will be a different fan base. But I think that's okay because you've already established your core anyway. So you could always go back to your core. You could do a one off with Shady and just go play that game. And the reason why I think that's important is because, like, there has to be a point to where you've built up enough equity to where it's of significant value, right? And I believe that it's already the case there for a Boldy. But if I believe in you and but you don't feel that you're there yet, well then that's just a difference in in opinion. You know what I
I
mean?
watched the interview with Boldy, and he was a guy asked him like, why you drop so much, and he
Mhm.
was just like, because it's a flex, like it's a flex because I'm independent and just because I can, like I drop so much just because I can. But I'm have to agree with you, Leroy. I think Boldy James, like he should. I think that he should do his next couple projects or whatever, and don't even drop them. Like keep them in house. Do your projects, keep them in house. Do like 3 of them and compress that shit into one classic album. Do 3 of them. Just put them up. Don't release them to the public. Drop them. I mean, have them. Put them up, and instead of dropping them, because you like this, like the third
Yeah.
album, what within like the last 2 months,
This man dropping albums left and right, man. But
right?
I know what you're
Last
saying. You're
week,
saying like take the best of, maybe take 3 months, make the best of them 3 months, and put that into a
and put that into one
right,
classic album. Like because at the same time, what is gonna be the flex if you it's great to have plenty music out there.
right,
But when we get into these hip hop conversations and all that,
yeah,
and it
yeah,
comes up, do we have a classic? He ain't got no classic. How are we gonna be able, so I think working on getting that classic and making that real um solidified hard album that's really
yeah,
solidify you as more than just an underground mixtape rapper because he dropped plenty dope shit. If he took
yeah, of course,
3 albums and combined them into one, he would have multiple classics already. You know what I'm saying? If he would
yeah,
just do that and pick through and put the best of the 3 albums on one album, he would have classics already. He would probably have at least 2 or 3.
yeah. I mean, there is a flex to what he's doing, so I get the flex. Like I'm dropping so much material that you gotta respect it because I'm like a machine, and I understand the flex fully. Just the same flex that Griselda was doing, Conway. They was dropping so much, but there's sometimes you want to like put on for your city for real. Like sometimes you want to drop that product. Like, yo, man, this one is for Detroit. You know what I'm saying? And you want
Right.
that to really be like this is the one. You feel me? Because you just want that for your city, and why not? You know what I mean? You're in position to do it. What is Eminem going to say to you, Boldy? If you say, "Oh, I want to do a deal," what is he going to say? No, he's not going to say no. It doesn't make business sense to tell you no.
Right.
It just doesn't. Like no one is going to tell you no. You know what I'm saying?
At this time too, like I said, I think it's dope that they did do the album together. You know, like
Mhm.
for the album not to really have a major concept. It's, like I said, it's just dope songs on from sharing dope stories. So it's not a conceptual album. It's just them rapping over some decent beats and sharing dope stories throughout the whole damn song. So it's hard to like talk about this album in real extreme depth because there's really not really much there except for what we just said. Some dope bars, some
Yeah.
dope metaphors, some dope lyrics, but concept wise, pretty much the whole album from front to back is the same song over and over.
No doubt, no doubt. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you check out Rome Street, Boldy James. Again, shout out to Boldy, man. Boldy is one of those people that seem to be collaborating with a lot of folks, and he's very versatile on the mic, and his chemistry with other people is pretty dope. So anyway, shout out to them, man. Final topic of the night. We're gonna go back and revisit a subject we talked about on our last show. Hot button topic. People seem to like that. You know, we got some positive indicators that they say they liked some of our CNN, C-SPAN.
Okay.
What else? What else is it?
News.
Fox News, MSNBC. They think they changed their name. MS Now. What is it? News Nation. Whatever the case may
They
be.
like that, huh?
Our Ed Gordon talk. You know what I'm saying?
All
60
right.
Minutes. So there was a clip. You know, my boy Shia LaBeouf. You know, he's been around for a little bit of a minute. Shout out to Shia from Transformers. You know, he came and said something about Kendrick, and people in the hip hop community had some things to say. So let me share my screen and let's unpack this conversation
Not Shia LaBeouf.
and go from there. Shia LaBeouf on the Hip Hop Podcast. You know, I think he's
Okay.
tapped in with the culture though. He did some shit with Baby King. But
Mhm.
anyway, let's go.
I'm sure he is.
He be directing videos and stuff for Kendrick too.
Okay.
What would you say to Jesus if you could?
None of this shit.
No,
I
fact.
remember asking Kendrick one time, like, bro, hey, Trump or Kamala, he was like, you think I give a fuck about this? Like, he got real life,
Yeah.
you know?
I just remember there was one day where it was like either Epstein does horrible shit or it's you having fun, and it was no.
Right, so if you got to pick, hey, man, come with me. I'm the good one.
Yeah, and you're not.
None of this shit.
No, fact.
I remember asking.
Nah, I don't know.
What
It
that
seems like,
means.
you know, I don't know why hip hop and people are commenting. My man said like he owned one. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if this is even serious commentary, but
Okay.
you know, people felt a certain type of way. Super. What have you been seeing on the internet? This is kind of like a continuation of what I saw over the last few weeks. People upset with J.Cole and Kendrick for not using their platform to speak about topics that they want them to talk about. It seems to me that, you know, he may have a difference of opinion. I don't know.
Only the people that want to be lied to was even had an issue with this. I felt like in the beginning. I mean, we said it last week. We don't know how Kendrick really feel about these issues. We don't know how he really feel. I mean, just because he put Lefty Gunplay on some tracks and he shows some love to the Latino community, we don't know where he lies at politically. You know what I mean? Like a lot of us, this is the same thing with the herd mentality and the way that, you know, they try to use celebrities to manipulate us and shit like that. I think that, I mean, I'm glad that Kendrick, if he didn't have a real opinion about it, don't say nothing about it. Don't get up there and virtue signal about it. And if
What about somebody from Compton? Can we go talk to a black person from Compton?
well,
What
we
do you
talking about Kendrick. We just talking about Kendrick Lamar though. Like Kendrick
Compton
Lamar,
has a very deep
we
history.
don't have the right to just assume that Kendrick Lamar care about the issues that you care about as a liberal person or as a Republican or whatever. He's a normal dude.
Did he write his own lyrics?
A lot of people just don't care about politics like that. You know
So
what I'm saying?
who's writing his lyrics?
I'm not surprised that Kendrick is one of those guys that's like, man, I don't give a fuck about that shit. Like, what difference do it make?
So I think someone else is writing your lyrics then, because if you wrote your own lyrics, it's being studied by the highest institutions of liberalism in politics.
Yeah, but even
And
in
they're
his
going
lyrics,
over
even
every
in his
single
lyrics,
line.
even in his
And they're
lyrics,
inspired. The
if
next
you
leader.
listening to Kendrick and
Okay.
in his lyrics, he tell you that
So
he don't
who's
care.
writing your lyrics?
He tell you that it's both, we both sides of the same coin. He says he don't care if it's the Republicans or the Democrats. I think he called them the Crips and Bloods, or the Republican Crips and the Demo
So do you
whatever.
care about
However he did
does
it.
he care about black people?
But that's not the issue.
Yeah, this is specifically about, do you care about black people?
That's not the issue. I'm not here to argue or say what he care about, because like I said, he told his homeboy he don't give a fuck about that shit.
Okay,
So
so if
I
you
was me as a person. The reason this my whole point when we
so I
first
don't
was
give a fuck
talking,
about someone who doesn't give a
when we
fuck
was
about.
first talking about this, when we was talking about Kendrick not saying something at the Grammys or whatever, when everybody else got up to the virtue signal, I had no problem with it, because I didn't know where he stood politically from the beginning. I didn't have no right to make him think like a Republican or think like a Democrat. If he wanted to talk about it, he could have. I had never had no problem with it. So I just think that
Where is
it's
your
just.
rhymes about conservatism? Where? What rhymes? Where?
I ain't saying he rhymed about none of that. So you
Every
putting words in my mouth.
almost
What I'm saying
100%
is
of your rhymes are
I
like.
never had expectations on the man in the beginning, and it wasn't fair for anybody else to
I'm not
have
talking about
expectations.
expectations. I'm just talking
No,
when
you expected him. You expected him
when
to
you make
care. You
Section
expected
80
him to care more about a
to
certain
pimp a
issue.
butterfly.
You wanted him to care more or care about an issue like you cared, and you disappointed that
I
he
don't no,
don't care. You disappointed in
no. If
him
it's
for
fuck me,
not
it's fuck
caring
Kendrick.
about an
If it's fuck
issue
me, it's fuck
that you
Kendrick.
care about.
No, if it's fuck us, because you say you don't give a fuck. If you don't give a fuck, then it's fuck us. That's how we're taking that. That's
How
what
do
I'm
you
taking.
deduce that though?
Because you said I don't give a fuck. But when a person doesn't give a fuck, it's a fuck you. That's what I don't give a fuck means.
No, I mean I
All
can't
right,
tell.
so cool.
I can't
I
tell a
no
person.
longer give a
I
fuck
can't
about
tell a
Kendrick.
person what to give a fuck about. If he don't give a fuck about
No, but
the
if you don't give
Lakers,
a
Right,
fuck, right? You
right.
don't give a fuck.
if he don't give a
Right.
fuck
Anybody
about
who
if I'm a
doesn't
big
give a fuck
Cowboy,
is not a
if I'm a big Dallas Cowboy fan, I'm saying I
okay.
want to
But
watch the game.
so
And he said,
if
I don't
it's
give a fuck
fuck
about. I
me,
don't
it's
give a
got to
fuck
be
about
fuck
that
you.
game. I can't be like, well, it's not fuck me. He just don't care about the
He's saying
game.
fuck you. I don't give a fuck means fuck you.
No, that's not what he's saying. If I say,
means.
yo, dog, I'm gonna go watch this Dallas Cowboys game tonight. We're gonna get a spot.
We're talking about life and death. We're not talking about football.
Okay,
We're talking about life and death.
Okay, well, I don't know if
Compton is about life and death.
He may not look at it like that. I don't know how.
What are you looking at? Are you from Compton, sir?
I can't speak for him. I don't know how you looking at it.
Okay, let me tell you about Compton. Okay, in case Kendrick doesn't know. Okay, but but again, I'm not a conservative. I'm not a Trumpy. So this is gonna rub me the wrong way anyway. But if you don't give a fuck, Kendrick Lamar, then we don't give a fuck about you, right? You don't give a fuck, so we don't give a fuck about you, sir. It is what it is. Like
how you
you don't give a fuck. We don't give a fuck about you.
You take things to the extreme,
Oh
bro.
man.
Yeah, because your albums are extreme. Every time you rap, you're extreme. No, hold on. Every time you rap, you take a liberal position. You ball it up in your raps and you throw it with extreme force. So this means you're an extreme person. When you make Black or the Berry, that is a liberal position. When you make To Pimp a Butterfly, when you make Section 80, Good Kid, all of this is a liberal position. Mr. Morale, that is a liberal ethos. You take that and you throw it as hard as you can at full speed. But now you don't give a fuck? Cool, we don't give a fuck about you, sir.
I mean,
And let me tell you something
I
about
never,
Compton.
I
Let me
never
tell you
thought
something
that.
about Compton. No, there is nobody in Compton that's a black person that's riding with that other side. Find them. Where? Who? Let's go to Compton right now.
How you know he riding with that other
Let's
side?
go to Compton right now.
How do you know he's riding with that other side?
Let's go to Compton right now.
How do you know he's riding with that other? He just say he doesn't care.
I'm listening to your album. So if you don't care, you should not be a cultural leader. You should. If I'm a teacher and I walk into school and say I don't care, then I should not be a teacher.
But you say he riding with the other side. He ain't right. He didn't say that either. He said he just doesn't care.
So what are your albums about?
What are your albums about, man?
King Kunta. So King Kunta is about this.
It's the same thing.
King Kunta is about the slave master.
That's the same thing.
King Kunta is about the slave master.
That is the same thing that Andre 3000 said on Get Up and Get Out on their first album. He says, they tell me I need to get out and vote, but why? Ain't nobody black running.
So don't vote. Don't vote then.
Why I got to register? I'm thinking
don't
of better
vote.
shit
Don't
to
do
with
nothing.
my
Just
time.
sit on the couch. Sit on the couch.
That's what that's his right.
Yeah.
That's his right.
Okay. So all of you people that don't care, you should not be able to speak because you don't care.
No, that's
right.
We have a
You're a useless human.
No,
you don't care. You're just in the way. You're in the way.
Free speech guarantee. You don't.
You don't care.
Free speech.
People like Leroy only want to hear.
If
what
I say I don't care about hip hop,
that's
should
what
I
it
be able to
is. Like they can't accept other people's opinions
they
about
hear
stuff.
what you want to hear.
Get
right,
his
he want to hear what he want to hear.
What's his opinion? Bring him in here.
What's
his opinion?
We don't even know what his opinion is.
His opinion
So
is
why are you telling me if you don't know?
His opinion is the opinion that I heard him say, which is true. We don't know if it's true or not, because he just doesn't care. He doesn't give a fuck.
Okay, we don't care about you either. We don't care about you, nigga.
Hey, man.
I'm just saying, if I come in if you ask me a hip hop question and I say I don't give a fuck, I should not be able to speak.
That wasn't a hip hop question.
If anything you don't give a fuck about means you don't care to comment.
And he ain't commenting on Trump. He's not commenting on that shit.
Okay, so sit down, sir.
So that's why he's not commenting. That's why y'all shouldn't be mad. He got up there. He got up there. He talked about hip hop.
Music, man.
Sit down, nigga.
Why can't
he got up there and he talked about hip hop.
Why can't the man?
I could tell you Absol, he cares.
Why can't
I could
the
tell
man
you
just make
Nipsey
music,
Hussle.
man?
I could tell you Nipsey Hussle, he cares. I could tell you Game, he cares. So if you don't, nigga, sit your little ass down.
Why can't the man just make music, man?
Because this ain't music. This is life and death. When we hit that,
why do you gotta care about what you care about?
Life and death.
It's the real thing.
You playing life and death.
Forcing a man to care about what you care about.
It may not be life or death to him.
It's life and death on this blacktop, nigga. That's
it might not be life or death to him. It's
not okay, well, go sit down. Go sit down somewhere and play with.
He wants to make records like Luther.
Play with somebody
and turn the TV off.
Play with somebody, nigga. Okay, so all these people that don't care, you're not a leader. You're not a leader. Leaders care. Leaders care.
He didn't say he was.
Leaders care. So if you don't care, we don't care either. That's all I'm saying.
So
we don't care about you. You don't care.
I don't know the brother, so I don't.
You don't care. But you're speaking like you know him. You're speaking like you know him.
Anything. I'm speaking.
I'm saying talk to Absol.
You were speaking like you knew him, and then you disappointed when you found out that he don't care.
No, I don't give a fuck. If you're a goofy, you're a goofy.
That's what I was saying.
If you don't care, you're goofy.
He probably didn't care about that shit. He probably don't care about ICE.
So you don't care. I pointed out that how Trump systematically is targeting black people, right? Did I not point that out?
No, you did.
I pointed out specific executive orders. I pointed out specific executive orders where he targeted black people specifically, right? So Kendrick's response is, I don't give a fuck. So if you don't give a fuck, nigga, you don't give a fuck about black people, nigga.
No. You're saying
you don't give a fuck about black people.
We have to speak factual.
Go sit your little ass down, nigga.
We got to speak factual. You didn't have that.
I am speaking factual.
No, you're not. You didn't speak. You didn't have that conversation with Kendrick where you specifically laid out
Get him in here. Get him in here.
Executive orders.
Get him in here.
Basing your opinion on your commentary on based upon a conversation
on
you
your
had with
albums?
Shia LaBeouf.
On your albums?
LaBeouf said he asked him a question: is it Kamala or President Trump? And he said, I don't give about any of that. That's what the quote was. So he didn't say, Shia LaBeouf didn't say, I sat down with him and I went down these policies. He didn't say that.
So I never heard a Kendrick album.
No, I'm saying
I'm not basing my opinion on your albums.
I'm painting for the picture in which we want to comment on. The comment.
What kind of conversation
any nigga that doesn't give a fuck, any nigga anybody who doesn't give a fuck is an enemy to black people. That is an enemy to black people. If you don't give a fuck, you're saying fuck black people. That's how I'm taking it. And if it is what it is, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck because I'm not playing these games. I'm not taking Shia LaBeouf serious. I'm not playing no games with fucking Shia LaBeouf. I'll smack the shit out of Shia LaBeouf. First of all, now, first of all, now, second, Absol is your man. Absol is your man. You give respect to Absol. Ask Absol if he cares about that decision. Ask him. That's your man. That's the nigga who you say you were inspired by his pen. Ask
the niggas that care.
Ask him if he cares. If you don't care,
let that nigga write the songs. You're a useless body. Let him care.
If you don't care, you're in the way, nigga.
Let him care.
You're in the way. Because on this
everybody don't have
blacktop,
to care,
nigga,
man.
on this blacktop, when you made that
Hey,
song,
that's
it's
what's
gonna
wrong
be
with
all
liberals,
right.
man. Hey,
When you made that
liberals
song,
want to
it's gonna
force
be
you
all
to
right with people
believe
getting
what
shot.
they believe.
People was getting their domes
And if you
split in
don't
the
believe the
street.
way a liberal
Nigga, that was
believes,
real blood,
they
nigga.
act like
That was real
Leroy and shit.
blacktop. That was real blood. You was sitting up in a mansion when they was playing It's Gonna Be All Right, but people was really dying in them streets. So if you don't give a fuck, nigga, well
Hey,
then you don't give
I
a
hope
fuck.
this don't make liberal loonies. What's that shit? Liberals gone wild or something? I
I
hope
hope
this
it
don't
does.
make that.
That might
It
blow
could
us
be,
up.
but the conservatives. What is your position? Every conservative position is that of a fucking idiot. Now, if I'm wrong, point out to me. Point out to
Again,
me the
that
intelligence of
wasn't the
your
point of
agenda.
that wasn't the
Point out to
topic.
me the intelligence of your
That
agenda.
wasn't the topic, Leroy. That
Every
wasn't the
one of you
topic.
conservatives are fucking
You
idiots.
want to make that the topic? Well, that wasn't the topic. That
Point
wasn't the
out the
topic.
intelligence of your agenda, and I'll fall back and I'll apologize. If you point out the intelligence of conservative agendas, not only will I fall back, but I'll apologize for you, and I'll mean it too. But I've been waiting for 10, 15 years for y'all to tell me why your agenda is so more intelligent than a liberal, and I can't get it. I can't get it. Why is Trump so intelligent that I should just be? Why is the conservative so intelligent that I should take their blueprint and take that to the black people and say, look, black people, this is the agenda that's so intelligent. Break it down for me. I've been waiting more than 10 years.
And we've been waiting 50 years voting for Democrats to do the
Martin
same.
Luther King was a liberal. So you're telling
We've
me
been waiting
Martin Luther King
60
was
years to
you're
do the
telling me
same shit
Martin
with the
Luther King
Democrats.
had a problem? Martin Luther King was wrong? Okay, tell me where he was wrong. Now, if when you tell me that, keep in mind though that you did not put a better plan in place than him either. So
I don't even want to talk about it because we ain't talking about what we were supposed to be talking about. The point
yeah.
what we was
If Kendrick
talking
don't
about
give a fuck, if
is
Kendrick
that
don't give a fuck, he's a duck.
Kendrick
If
probably
Kendrick don't,
didn't
he's
even
a duck.
vote. He probably supported Donald Trump, to be honest with you, because like I said, I
Where?
don't know
In his
how.
music?
I
Where?
definitely don't know how any straight man
Where?
could support the Democrats in any way and shit. Like, to be honest with you, you voting for all that gay shit in the first place and shit. Like, I don't see how
What?
I don't see how
Only
I
two
don't see how
conservatives
any
being
man can
liberal
be
makes you
down with
gay.
Democrats
That's
and shit.
only two conservatives. And the real blacktop being a liberal don't make you gay. That don't even make sense. Like that don't even make sense to no real.
That's the only thing that they
That don't
fighting
even
for.
make. And the reason why they pull that
Being
up
a
is because they
Democrat,
don't
being a
have no
Democrat
agenda.
man right now
They
means
don't
that
have
you
no
gay
agenda.
and you fighting for immigration. That's
100%
all you caring
of the
about.
conservative argument is that being liberal makes you gay.
That's the only thing
That's
that they fighting for.
100% of their
Hey,
argument.
that's the only thing that the Democrats got record and got successful fighting for is gays and immigration.
No,
That's the only
actually,
thing that they.
actually
That's
that
the
whole
only thing
gay
that they can
shit,
say that they
that whole
successfully have
gay shit
done some
started
shit.
in the 60s. So by the
That's the
time it
only
made its
success
way
that they
up,
got.
by the time
Everything,
it
all the
made
other
its way
policies
up,
then failed,
by the
man.
time the
NAFTA,
gay shit
NASDAQ,
started in the
all
60s.
them policies that they
By
done
the
started
time it
been
made its
been
way up, it was
failing.
50 years of fighting. So
They ain't done
it
nothing,
was
man.
50 years of fighting before they got something done.
Hey, we might as well end the
50
show here. We could just keep
years.
talking online. Like, we might as well just end the show.
Now,
This is one of our this is
okay,
a chat. This ain't a show topic right here.
Hey,
because
This ain't a show topic.
we will have a
Because I can't even be nice enough. I can't
we
even
will have
pretend on this and shit.
we will have a special episode.
if Kendrick don't give a fuck about
Hey,
us, we don't give a
we will
fuck
have a
about him.
special weekend rhyme midterm election special. We'll have
For
political
what?
correspondents come in, and we'll have a Face the Nation, Meet the Press. We have a political show because that's what people have been asking for to really unpack. You know what I'm
We
saying?
need it. We need that.
Hip-hop.
Some real down to earth, real political talk. But we gotta have the real conversations
it
though.
It won't be what Leroy did last time, you know, because Leroy had ample opportunity to hit us in the chat and say, "I'm gonna bring these policies." He tried to sneak attack us the last time and bring these
When I
policies.
point out specific
You didn't
policy,
tell
who
us
can
that you was
beat
gonna
that?
bring out policies on that show, and you brought them out. You tried to sneak attack us on air. I remember that.
But did I bring out the policy though?
You did. But
so
you
who
didn't
can
give,
beat that?
us time. You didn't
How?
you didn't give us.
How?
It wasn't, and that didn't even have nothing to do with what we was really talking about.
How are you gonna beat policy?
You didn't give us ample time to review.
It was besides the point.
You want to look at it right now?
No, you did it.
How are you gonna beat it?
You did it on air, Leroy. And I can break down.
But how?
Hey, you talking about that in that show? We was talking about Nicki Minaj, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we were just talking about. We was specifically focusing on Nicki Minaj. That's it.
So I'm supposed to think Nicki Minaj is intelligent or something?
No, but we was talking about Nicki Minaj. That's
all
all
right.
we
And
talking about.
I pointed out policy.
And you brought out policies
Yes.
Right, and so we was specifically saying that Nicki Minaj looked stupid joining Turning Point USA.
Yeah.
That was really the subject and
But
what
if
we've
you
been
have
talking
policy,
about.
I'll respect
But
it.
you turn,
If you show me
we
policy,
were all in agreement. We were all in agreement.
Yeah, we was in agreement.
right? But my thing is, if you show me policy, I'll have to respect it.
Yeah.
But nobody on that side ever has policy. When they do have a policy, they say, "Well, all of y'all is gay." Well, I mean, it sounds good.
That's not what.
But
That's not what they say.
it sounds
That's
good,
not what
buddy.
they. That's
But
not what
you
they
are
say.
not. You are not. When I'm telling you that issue worked its way through through multiple decades of policy, then you're not understanding what I'm saying. But they do boil it. They do boil it all down to simple statements. But at the end of the day, though,
It didn't work
when
itself through
at the end
policy.
of the
It
day,
worked itself through getting forced through by Barack Obama
at
through the
the end of
Supreme
the day.
Court. That's how it got through.
Listen, gay people told Barack Obama, as a black man, how are you hating on us when you know what it's like to be hated on? Barack Obama at first was like, hey, I still hate y'all. That was his first comeback.
That's not what he said.
Oh my God.
He didn't
His
say
first
that.
comeback,
He did not
his
say
first
that.
comeback was no. His first comeback was no. But then they said, how can you hate on us when as a black man, you
Man,
know
wasn't
what
nobody
it's
hating
like?
on them. No, it wasn't.
Hold
No, it
on.
wasn't.
Hold
That's not
on.
how it went.
I watched the whole
You making
presidency.
this
So
up,
I'm
bro.
lying? I'm a
Yeah,
liar.
you lying. Yeah, you lying. You lying.
So they didn't say, how could you hate on us when you
No,
know what
that's
being
not how
hated on is like?
how it went.
They didn't
That's
say
not
that?
how it went.
They didn't say that?
What happened? This
They
is what
didn't say
happened.
that. So the
No.
only thing that matters about Barack Obama is he's a gay hero. That's the only thing that y'all seem to be concerned with. Okay, all right. But the whole issue is
He ain't no hero for black people.
that issue had
Where is
been
he
in
a
the
hero for
court.
black people
That
at?
issue had been in the court for 40 fucking years. How come
No, it
y'all not
wasn't.
bringing up the other
It
years?
wasn't. It
Come
wasn't.
on, bro. Come
It
on.
wasn't. It
Stop.
was
Yes,
never
it
voted for
was.
by the people.
They have been
Everywhere that shit
talking
failed.
about that for
And we had this
years, bro.
conversation. Everywhere gay rights was put on the ballot, it failed. Nowhere, nobody voted
Okay.
for the shit.
Okay,
They had
if you put a
right.
black
So
man
they
on
had
the
to
on
force.
the, there's gonna fail.
They had to force it through the government. The president had to force
And
the
you're
people to
upset.
accept it.
And you're upset.
Yeah, I'm upset. I'm upset that the people. I'm upset that any law that the government force on you.
If another
If we don't vote
motherfucker
for,
wants
if
to have sex
we
with
never,
somebody,
gay
why are
rights
you upset?
never legally passed. It never was voted for by the people.
Bruh, it definitely was supported by
Whatever.
millions of people, bro.
Not
Like
much
by
people.
millions of, especially people that are black, because the reason why is black
We're
people.
doing a podcast, but we really done. I think.
It wasn't just about being gay. It was about discrimination. But I mean, I know we're not going to get nowhere with that because, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, though, if you don't care, you're in the way. We can't have people that don't care being the fucking leader of our people.
Nah,
You
man,
don't fucking
can't.
care.
Number
You're
one.
in the way.
Number one. No one made him the leader. No one said he was the leader. That's number one, right? So having
So shut the
expectations.
fuck up.
So the leaders of the liberals.
But
He's supposed to be the liberal hero.
A liberal is not a Democrat. A liberal does not mean
make no
Democrat.
sense.
A liberal just means
You feel a
educated.
certain type of way because he doesn't seem to align with what you want to be him to be aligned.
No,
with.
all of his albums align 100% with what I'm saying.
Okay.
Have you heard a Kendrick Lamar album?
I
mean, the reason why he's being lauded as a liberal superhero is because every single album carries
the joke's on you. The joke's on you.
The joke's on me for what?
The joke's on
you. You wrote the albums.
You wrote them. Y'all believe everything y'all hear and see.
Right. We've been saying that for years too.
Don't believe everything you hear and see.
Why when black people was getting beat down in the street? Why did you support them fighting back? Why? Aren't you for the police? That's what that would be. Why did you allow your song "It's Gonna Be All Right" to be an anthem against police brutality if you're for the police?
Because it's all part of the game.
So you're out here playing games. So move the fuck.
Like I said,
everybody's playing games.
Yeah, I'm not playing no game on this blacktop, nigga.
That's you.
On this blacktop, I ain't playing.
I think Kendrick Lamar makes songs about his life and shit that he care about and shit that he want to talk about. If he don't want to talk about ICE, he don't want to make a song dissing Donald Trump, I have no problem with it. None.
Who gives a
So-
fuck about
And
having a
if he,
problem?
That's it.
and if he wanted,
You hate him now. Now you hate
and
him.
if he
No,
wanted,
he
hate him
doesn't give
'cause you-
a fuck. So I don't give a
and
fuck.
vice versa. If he wanted to make a song about them topics, I wouldn't care either.
Where?
I wouldn't care either. Right.
Where's the song? Where? Because every single album takes a Martin Luther King perspective, nigga. That is king liberal.
And I don't
That
care
is
if he,
king
if
of
he,
the
I don't care,
liberals.
I don't care if he's a liberal or a conservative. I don't care.
You seem like you care because we're having the conversation.
I'm just having the conversation because it was a topic that's on
Yeah,
other
we're having
pods.
what topic? We're talking about Shia LaBeouf. Again, I'll smack the shit out of Shia LaBeouf. So why is he a topic?
Hey, Shia LaBeouf, that might be a good fight. He said
It won't be a good fight. It'll be over really quickly.
He ain't gonna duck the fade, bro. He gonna run. He's
Set
on
it
his
up.
own.
Set it up with
I seen
anybody.
Shia throw hands. He nice with it a little
Set
bit.
it up, nigga.
You know?
I'm super nice with these, bro. Set it up.
Hey,
But the whole thing is this, though. If you take Section 80, Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, all his albums, what are we talking about? Why is every college considering these the hallmark of liberalism? Why? They're looking at Kendrick Lamar as if he's the most articulate liberal of this century.
And you just found out he not.
So who
cock.
wrote your albums?
Pow, he just bust your
Who
bubble.
wrote
and
your
shit.
albums?
He just
Who
bust
wrote
your
your
bubble and
albums?
shit. You got gum on you
Who
and shit
wrote
now,
your
man.
albums?
Your bubble is busted, man. Your dreams of
I
him
still
being
got your albums.
your dreams of him
I
being
still got your albums.
liberally aligned with
I still
you
got your
is
albums.
over.
I
It's
still got
over,
your
man.
albums. So you didn't write your albums? You didn't write your albums?
He looked really hurt too. You hurt about this shit.
I don't. No, he doesn't give a fuck. I'm saying I don't give a fuck. But if you didn't write your
You
albums,
hurt, man.
somebody else
It's all
wrote
right,
that.
man. Hey, Kendrick don't align
Somebody
with
else
your,
wrote that.
politics, and it hurt. I get it,
No,
man.
I know.
You disappointed,
He's from
man.
Compton,
You
bro.
disappointed.
He's from Compton.
Just keep
If
it real.
y'all thinking he's a MAGA from
So you
Compton,
disappointed.
nigga, y'all niggas is
So you are a
super
little
crazy.
bit disappointed.
Y'all
You
niggas
disappointed.
is super crazy.
You disappointed that he don't care as much as you want him to.
No, I think Shia LaBeouf was talking. I don't think Kendrick was talking. But if I'm reading your albums correctly, nigga,
So you think that he just lying? You think that he just making shit
like
up?
your albums care so much, bro, that every time I hear your album, almost every line is about how much you care. Like hundreds of thousands of lines are
I
about
don't
you
think you be
caring.
listening to Kendrick right, and I don't hear that.
Okay,
I hear
like,
Kendrick caring
bro,
about black
you
issues.
care more than
I
probably
hear
any
Kendrick talking
rapper
about
has
black.
ever cared.
I hear him either talk about some specific black issues that's relating to
What's
his
a
life,
black issue?
or he talking about some shit that happened like with his homeboys or some shit,
What's a
some certain
black
situations, or somebody else's life or something that he done seen. I
What?
don't think that he's trying to be like he's not trying to be Captain Democrat or whatever. I don't think that
Your
he's trying
albums
to.
is Captain Democrat, bro.
No,
Your
I don't think
albums
so.
is the
I know
most
it's not.
democratic
No, they
shit.
not.
Your
No, they
album
not.
is the most. Look,
That's what
Democrats
they
are
wanted
about
to be.
inclusion.
That's what they wanted to be.
Democrats,
I don't think
That's
so.
what they wanted to be,
what
but that's
makes
not
you
what
a
it.
Democrat? What makes you a Democrat is inclusion. You're about unity. That's what makes
No, it's
you
not.
Democrat.
No, it's
Yes,
not.
bro. What are you talking
No, it's not.
about? What are
You
you?
can't make stuff. You
Democrats
can't
is
just
about
make this up,
inclusion.
man.
Unity makes you a
No, it's
Democrat.
not.
Conservatism means you're dividing. So
No,
your album,
no.
your first
The
album, bro.
Democrats
Yes, it
actually
is.
divide.
You guys
They play
don't. Yes,
identity
it is,
politics
bro.
and they
Your
divide
first,
everybody. They
bro,
got everybody fighting for
bro.
funds, fighting for scraps.
By
They play
definition,
They play men,
do you
women,
know
black,
what
white politics.
democratic
They play them
means?
politics.
Democratic is inclusive. It literally means that.
No.
What the fuck are you talking about? So
just
your
displayed
first
it.
song is
They do
F your
shit for
ethnicity.
gays.
Your
They do
first
shit
song's
for
F your
immigrants.
ethnicity.
They
You're
got
talking
shit for
against
blacks.
Ronald
They got
Reagan,
shit.
bro.
Bro, the
You're
Democrats
talking
separate
against
everybody.
Ronald
The
Reagan on
conservative
your
run
first
shit
album.
as if the country is just the country.
You're talking.
They
You're
thinking about
firing
doing
at
shit for the
Ronald
country,
Reagan
not
on your
doing shit
first
for
album,
individual groups.
bro. Democratic means you are inclusive with the other groups. That's democratic.
Democrat means you don't do nothing for
Conservative
nobody.
means you conserve. Conserve means you are not democratic. That's so your first album has Reagan era. You're blaming the entire Section 80 of crack babies on Ronald Reagan. And you mean to tell me that's conservative? Okay, so it's like, come on, bro. Stop.
Well, nobody's saying that. I'm telling you that it's not political at all. I don't think it's political. I don't think that Kendrick is rapping from a Democratic or Republican point of view.
Why you make
I don't think that he's rapping from a liberal standpoint. I think that he's rapping from his. I think that he's rapping from his standpoint of
Drake
what
said
he
you're
thinks
trying
about
to
the
free
situation.
the slaves. Drake said you're trying to free the slaves, my G. You know what kind of mind you have
That's
to
not a
have to
liberal
free a
thing.
slave? Yes,
That
it
ain't a liberal
is, bro.
moment.
Freeing
No,
a
it's not.
slave is a liberal position.
No, it's not.
Bro, when they abolished slavery, what was the mentality behind that? It was a liberal mentality. Liberate.
No, it wasn't.
Liberal.
No, it wasn't.
Liberal means liberate. Literally,
No.
it means liberate. Liberal.
Well, that's not
liberate.
what it means. That's not what
Do
it
you
means
see how
today.
it's the same word?
That's not what it means
No,
today.
bro.
Hey,
Bro,
and it was done by the
language,
Republicans.
bro.
It was done by the
language.
Republicans.
I study language.
It was done by the conservatives.
Liberal means liberate. Both sides were Republican. Democrats were called Republicans in those times, bro. They were
Either way,
you had right.
I'm not even. We don't even have to argue about this. Like I said,
liberal and
you don't get
liberate
you don't even
same
get the
root
right
word.
to be disappointed in Kendrick. I think you bogus for even being mad at
Shia
Kendrick
LaBeouf was
because
talking. You're taking Shia LaBeouf's
and you
words
mad at
as-
Kendrick.
You're
And you
taking
were
Shia
just
LaBeouf's
talking
word.
about fuck him, fuck Kendrick. We
Yeah,
through
if it's
with
fuck
you.
me, if it's fuck us, it's fuck him. For sure.
So yeah, all right.
I don't give a fuck who's fuck us.
highly emotional
No.
about Kendrick Lamar not caring about
Well,
voting
Shia
for
LaBeouf,
Kamala Harris.
off Shia LaBeouf's comment, yeah.
You really mad that he didn't want
Shia LaBeouf's
that's what it is.
No, but where
he
is
didn't
his
care
MAGA?
enough to say that he was
where's
supporting
his,
Kamala
where's
Harris.
his MAGA hat? Where's his MAGA hat? He don't got a MAGA hat?
Why do you gotta have a MAGA hat?
Because that's his side, right? He's MAGA, right?
He said he didn't give a
who
fuck.
said it was his side?
Okay,
who
so if
said
that's
that?
not what we're talking about, don't paint the picture.
What are you talking about, man?
Because I'm talking about every single album you drop.
Man, you ain't been listening at all, huh? This nigga just thought that we said Kendrick was MAGA. Is that what you
I'm
arguing
talking
now?
about every single collegiate institution in the country.
We gotta stop doing this shit, man.
Considering
That's why we
your
didn't have a
albums,
good conversation.
considering your albums, the hallmark and the standard. Your albums, are the standard of liberal thought. Your albums are the standard.
So you're
the albums
saying
are the standard for liberal thought.
you're saying anybody that didn't vote for Kamala Harris is automatically MAGA? Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah, you go over there. You're a MAGA. Yeah, definitely. You're a MAGA. you're a MAGA. Yeah, you're a MAGA. You're right. If you voted the other way, stand on it, bro. Stand on. That's your man. Ride with your man. Now I'm not voting no white man over a black woman. That's my principles.
And she wasn't a black woman.
But I mean, she's a black woman, nigga.
We still telling that lie.
Kamala Harris' father.
2026,
Let's look up Kamala Harris' father.
Man, we can stop telling that lie.
Let's look up Kamala Harris' father.
We gotta stop telling that lie.
Who was one of the greatest economic minds in American history.
Niggas running around still calling Kamala black in 2026.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Shit,
I'm not black. According to FBA's, I'm not black. Now, granted,
if you're not black, you're not black.
My mama black. My daddy.
If you got immigrant background and your family come from India,
nigga, I'm
and your
super
daddy,
black. But
and your daddy
I'm
is
black.
a dothead, then you're not black, man. You're not.
Kamala's super black, nigga. Oakland, nigga. I think y'all better go to Oakland and better.
She's not FBA.
I think y'all better look. I think y'all better do your homework on Oakland. I think
you don't just get to be black.
Oakland, nigga.
You just gave her a black card.
Anyway, we had a great show today. Check in with us.
We didn't.
We had a great show today.
Bullshit,
I thought the show was great. This show was great.
Tell Kendrick go get his MAGA hat, nigga.
We're gonna end it on this note. We're gonna end it on this note. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Make sure you tell a friend and tell a friend. You could have been anywhere in this world tonight, but you chose to rock with us. Make sure you follow us on TikTok. Make sure you follow us on X, Twitter.
This nigga said he thought we said Kendrick was MAGA.
Leroy says
Leroy
says a lot.
My bad. I'm tripping over here. I'm like, this nigga
that nigga's a MAGA, nigga.
Hey, yo. Anyway, let us know in the comments what you think about Kendrick and Shia LaBeouf. With Shia LaBeouf, you think Shia LaBeouf was just making this up? He tweaking, you know what I'm saying? He's making some shit up. Do you think you even care about whether Kendrick is MAGA or not? Oh,
don't care.
I think Kendrick was talking to a cracker, so he said, "I don't care."
What do you think about the Boldy James and Rome Streets joint? What do you think about the trunk sale? Did you pull up on Cole? Did you meet him in the streets? Did you bring your baby to get a CD signed? Let us know. Did you see the Honda Civic on the road? Let us know about what you think about the King of the South and 50 Cent and T.I.'s sons and families standing on business, defending the honor of their family and their mother, matriarch of the family. I think 50 Cent has run out of gas as his 25-year run of putting out memes and thisis50.com and talking shit. Does that come to an end? Does he even have to rap? Or is he done? Or can he just, do his movies and shows and just fade away? Or the damage has been done? But anyway, this is the Weekend Rhyme, the #1 Weekend Hip Hop Podcast in the Game. The show will be out tonight. We'll break it down in parts, and we'll have our discussions next week, man. We appreciate you. I'm Ron, RKY. That is Leroy. That is Super Duper. And we're going to call it a night. Peace.
Peace.
Later.